Hello, hello. As usual, I'm waiting for a couple more people to join on here. You guys are a little far away from me today, so it's a bit difficult for me to see the camera. So I'm going to probably lean in there a little bit and read some stuff. But grab your coffee. Saturday morning, coffee time. It's really hot. I just reheated mine, and I'm gonna have to let that sit. But I wanted it to be hot because we'll be talking on here, and then I'll have cold coffee. It's a whole thing. So the first thing I'm going to talk about, so I already kind of pre-opened some of this mail because, so you guys, if you follow me at all, you know that I haven't been home hardly at all. It's like I come into town and then I leave town. I come into town, I leave town. So it's been a crazy year. First official update for me as far as all of this, if you've been following, is that I was out of town for 8 weeks having a whole bunch of oral surgery and stuff done. And when I was recently out there again on my way to Socation, I stopped and saw the dentist, and he gave me the official all clear, we're all done, which is huge because I was thinking he wanted me to wait out the summer, and then he wanted me to come back in fall, and he wanted to do more stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm tired of dental work, and I'm tired of being put under and having my mouth hacked up and living on soup and, all that. Dental work is no fun, and it is so expensive. But I've been chasing these really bad issues for years, and I have to tell you guys, this is my little PSA for you. If you needed a sign to go get that thing you've been dealing with done, and you don't want to because you're avoiding the dentist, do it. I have never felt better. I was suffering from several different little things that were going on, and nobody could tell me why. And this dentist still couldn't tell me why, but he was like, let's just remove all these different things. Let's remove this, let's remove that. Let's try some different things. He was actually willing to explore and experiment a little bit within safe boundaries. And I've never felt better. So yes, it was expensive. Yes, I got poked and prodded to death. Yes, they tore my mouth apart, and it was not fun, but I feel better. So if you've been waiting to get that cavity fixed, that crown filled, that tooth removed, do it for your health. Your oral health actually has a ton to do with your heart and your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels and your stress levels and all kinds of things in your body. And if that thing's been bothering you, go fix it. This is my health thing for you. So I hope that gives you, some courage. I was encouraged to finally get it taken care of because someone that I knew at the time I finally decided to do this, she was like, I have to get this dental work done. I've been putting it off for 5 years, and I'm going to be brave and go to the dentist. And I thought, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. I'm going to be brave, and I'm just going to go, and we're just going to do it. And we did it, and I'm much happier. So, and I'm feeling a ton better, which is good. So anyway, that's kind of update number 1. I don't have to go back in the fall, which is yay. I'm so excited that I don't have to go back. I just got that update from him. Oh, what is it now? At the very end of June, the last week of June. So, backtracking a little bit, why I have all of this mail and then where I was at Socation, which is an expo classes get together thing. It was in Palm Springs, California. And sorry, I just saw Cindy pop up. Good morning, Cindy. Hello, hello. And hi to everybody else who joined. I was at Socation in June. I was there as a vendor, and I also taught a couple of classes, which was very fun. I'm always appreciative to those of you who come out, obviously who, come by, but also who want to take the classes because it's one-on-one time, and I get to work with you guys one-on-one and, help and teach and whatever. A few people, I've always done this, and I always will. If you pay for a class with me and you don't finish in class, I'm going to come sit with you if you're willing, and we're going to sit in the free sewing area and we're going to finish. So both days I had a couple people who, they were beginners, they needed some extra time, and I got to sit with you guys one-on-one and literally just sew with you and get through your project and talk, one-on-one, which was really sweet. Those are the things that I carry with me after the expo. It's the people who come up and greet you and they're like, hi, I saw you on whatever. Oh, you taught me this thing or whatever. And then, I watch your YouTube and you taught me this thing. And then, we have those little interactions. So Had a ton of that at Socation, which was like awesome. I love that. And it was a really fun group of people. It was very, I don't know, a different breed of people and crowd in a good way. Like very accepting, very like, hey, come sit at our table, super inclusive, like nobody putting on airs, nobody having that feeling of like, oh, we're too good for you, you're not allowed to hang out with us. Everybody was like really warm and inviting, which is the type of person that I am and the type of environment I want to be in. I was never a cool kid at any point in my life. I don't want to be like, I'm friends with people who are friends with me, and if you talk to me and are friendly to me, I'm going to be friendly back to you. Frankly, if you don't talk to me, I'm probably going to be friendly and talk to you. So that's the type of places that I'm looking for. And I think that I found some of that at Socation, which I was really, really happy about, because that's kind of not been the case at some of the more recent expos. Touching on this very briefly, but then I'm going to move on. Once again, I've gotten a lot of messages, and even at Socation in the middle of my class, I had several people ask me very directly, are you going to So Magical Expo? And I just politely said, no, I will not be. At which point they didn't want to drop it, and they said, you know, well, first I ignored it, and then they asked me again in front of the whole class, and so then I said no. And then it was, you know, oh, well, you're not going to this location? Are you going to this one? And I said, at that point, I just said, I will not be doing any more of those events again. And then they asked again, oh, like this year or ever? And I just politely, but like, you know, honestly said, ever. I will not be involved in that. The treatment that I experienced and other vendors experienced, both on a business level and a personal level, was unprofessional and hurtful and crappy. And, you know, I'm not going to do that. So unfortunately, you won't see me there, but you'll see me at a lot of other places. And I listed off the shows I was going to. But I had several people do that. I have received several PMs and messages about people asking about that. And I was very quiet about it for a long time, and I kept going to the event, putting my head down and just saying, okay, well, but it's for business and I really want to meet you guys. But it very quickly just started getting to me mentally. And the picking and the bullying was getting worse, even though I was like putting my head down and trying to ignore it, like turn the other cheek kind of things. And that got me nothing. So I just decided it's not worth it. I'm just not going to do that. And I refuse to support a business or person like that who's doing those things to people. So I'm out. Every time you guys ask me, I'll just kind of keep saying the same thing, but it's the honest truth. And those of you who know me personally and who've interfaced with me personally about it, you've shared your experiences with me, which unfortunately I'm not surprised about. But in my little bits of sharing, I've connected with a ton of you who have come to me and told me, hey, this is what happened to me. And I'm so glad I'm not alone, because I felt alone, which is how I felt all of 2022 and basically into 2023 most recently. I didn't tell anybody because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed. I felt embarrassed. It's like when you're bullied and you just feel like you don't want to tell anybody because you feel ashamed. Like you feel like it's your fault or like whatever. And so I just didn't want to tell anybody. It made me feel like a big loser. And then I finally just thought, you know what? Being silent has just lent cover to it. So I'm going to just be public about it. And so when you guys ask me at events, I say the same thing. And that's not going to change. So I love that you want to see me there, but I'm not going to do it anymore. But I will be doing lots of other shows. Absolutely, I will go back to Socation. I recommend it. I love it. I will be doing Original Sewing and Quilting Expo. That is August, so you'll see me here in August. And then I'd like to sign up for some of their other shows. So they've got a location in Florida. They've got a location in Cincinnati. I think they do, I don't even remember. They have like 5 or 6 locations, and it's a great show, and it's big. So I'm beyond stoked to do that. And I had a really great time at Socation. So again, thank you to all of y'all who came out at Socation, because it really did my heart a lot of good given everything that's been going on. All the hugs. I love hugs. I'm a hugger. I didn't used to be, but I'm a hugger now for many years. So I loved it. And I shopped. I shopped a lot. So that's my first portion of the haul here that I have for you guys. Let me quickly run through. I'm going to try to remember everybody, and if I forget somebody who was at Socation, let's see, Heather is asking, is Socation in California? It is, or it was. So Socation, the company who puts it on is Oside, because they're out of Oside, California, Oside area or whatever. I don't know if that's a real city or like a region, but that's the name. And the gal who puts it on, sweetest person in the world. Her name is Amanda. She is amazing. You've probably seen her around at some of the expos. She has like this color hair. It's like blue. And she wears a little fancy tiara a lot of the times. She is the sweetest person. And I gotta tell you, you know, again, I said I wasn't really gonna touch on it, but touching on that briefly, I stayed away from her for a long time. And she and I have had this conversation, by the way. This is public knowledge. I was told by other people associated with another expo who just like vilified this person to the ends of the earth, in a frankly really mean way. I didn't know about any of this, but I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna like just stay away from that person then, you know. And I'm sad that I did. I'm sad that I trusted those people who in reality did not have her best interest at heart, didn't have my best interest at heart. Really what it was, I think, is they felt like she was competition and didn't want to include her, even though she's super inclusive and has a seat for everybody at the table, which again is the type of person I am. I just want to be friends with everybody and just have fun. And that's how her events are run and how she is. So I did eventually end up coming to her with all of this, and I talked to her and I just said, look, I got to tell you this, and I got to tell you, I'm really sorry that like I let somebody else color my view of you, because that's not fair to you. And I straight told her everything that had happened. And I said, look, I want to give you an opportunity, if you'll let me, to get to know you on your own terms and get to know me on my own terms. So we've now done that. She has been so sweet and so frankly like forgiving and just nice and accepting. And she's just a really nice person. And she does put on a fun expo. She's a great teacher. So yeah, I can't say enough good things. She's got cruises at sea, which they're on one right now in Alaska. She's got another one coming up to Mexico. So she does cruises. She does the Socation retreat. Like, it's not a retreat, it's an expo, like an all weekend expo. And she was doing it in Palm Springs, California, but Las Vegas is where she's doing it next year. And I am very excited. I will be participating. There's a long list of vendors that you guys know and love who will be participating. And so I'm so excited for Vegas. So Vegas will be a lot of fun, I think. So anyway, was in Palm Springs, may still be in Palm Springs, but she's adding Vegas. And I also heard, I have no details, but she's doing a retreat of some sort. She's calling it a craft expedition to go to the Northern Lights, which I'm like, what? Like, I get to combine sewing and meeting sewing friends and go do like a cool bucket list thing. Like, I'm there for that. So yeah, I'm excited. So let me get through the sewing haul here with us. I'll list off some of the vendors who were there quickly, because I did buy stuff from them, but there were some that I probably did not buy from, and I'm going to try to like remember. So obviously I was there with Emporium Threads, selling hardware templates, tools, all my good stuff. We had Dream Big Creations, who's like webbing, custom hardware. I think they had fabric. And then we had Wonderground Fabrics, which y'all probably know. And I bought stuff from her, so I'll show that off. And who was next? So Girly Fun, who's like a lot of kind of character prints, anime kind of stuff, Japanese sort of like chibi style art. And she has some custom hardware as well. And then we had Zarel Fabrics, which I'm sure you guys know, and I bought some stuff from them, from Melanie and her helper, employee, gal pal, Lily. Love the two of them. And then we had Sweetly Unique Boutique. I'm not 100% sure what she was selling. I think she had templates and maybe kits. I don't know. I taught a couple of classes and then I was vending, so I was busy. I didn't make the rounds to everyone. Komani Creations was there, who had beautiful pattern weights and magnets. So I bought stuff from her. She also makes big custom painted, and I'll show her stuff here, Lazy Susans, who you can put those, you know, on your desk and organize all your craft stuff, which I love. And you can custom order colors. So you can go to her site and you can, let me see, you can order, like, you know, for your sewing room, if you're like, oh, I really want pink and blue, or, you know, green and purple or whatever, you can like pick what she paints for you. And I'll show you her painting style here in a minute. So Komani Creations was there. There were a couple of embroidery booths. Forgive me, I don't remember the designers' names. There was a tattoo booth there, which I thought, like, I don't have any tattoos. I'm a chicken. But it was so cool, you guys. The tattoo booth was packed, and the tattoos were so cute. People were getting like stuff added to their sleeves. Lily from Zorel, you'll have to ask her to see. This was so cute. So the thing took place in Palm Springs, but the little tattoo she had added on her arm somewhere, maybe it was here, it was a little island with a palm tree sticking out of it, but the island looked like a little cartoony skull, and she was calling the tattoo Palm Screams. It was so cute. I loved the little spooky tattoo, but it was like cartoony fun spooky. So cracked me up. Like, I loved it. And yeah, anyway, let's see, I can't remember, somebody else got a really pretty, I think it was Nikki, she got a really pretty like rose that looked like ticking, I think, and people were getting like basically all sewing tattoos, but you can get anything you want. They had 3 artists, and let me tell you, they were booked solid. The other thing I really loved about this, and he was booked solid the whole time, so I couldn't even get in there. There was a booth in the middle of the vendor hall with a like chair and table masseuse guy. So obviously you keep like your clothes on, but he was doing, you know, shoulder and whatever you wanted. And I heard the massages were really good. So as a vendor, when we're packing in, packing out, toiling away all day doing all that, having a freaking massage booth is amazing. And I've always wanted one at a show. So I loved that she was going to have that. And I know all of these vendors, plus I think like at least 10 more that I saw, are on the list to come to Vegas. So it's Vegas of 2024. Socation will be there. They'll have the classes. It'll be the vendor hall. It's the same shebang, just bigger and better. And I know she's finishing ironing up the details on that. So I would highly recommend that you mark your calendars. And on that same note, quickly, we'll start with Zorel, because I bought stuff from her. But if y'all are looking for retreats, not an expo with vendors, but just retreats, 2 things on that. One, I went to the Wizardry Getaway, and let me just show you guys. So cute. I loved the teachers. We got amazing swag bags at the Wizardry Retreat. There were sublimated tumblers, face masks, lip scrub, sewing things, all kinds of cute stuff. And they came in these tote bags. We got to press our own tote bag. So you get to pick what design you put on here, and they pressed them for us. Look how freaking cute. I loved it. I loved Wizardry Getaway. The accommodations were amazing. The food, I can't stop talking about the food. It was so good. I gotta tell you guys, I'm picky. I'm picky about food. I'm picky about where I eat it from, because if you know that little song, you can't eat at everybody's house. I'm picky. So, but this place, the kitchen is in like the big retreat room, and it's really clean. It's amazingly appointed. It's really pretty. And everything there was top notch, impeccably clean, super well maintained. It all looked like it was brand new construction. I felt so comfortable there, like I was in my own home, and it was just amazing. So I would tell you, if you're looking for a retreat, a weekend getaway for yourself, go to the Wizardry Retreat. Kasaya was a teacher, Lynn's Handmaid was a teacher, Nikki Kinder from Nikki Makes, Shannon Timchula from Knotted Threads, and then you had Melissa Lawson from Geeky Hardware, and her business partner, Crystal Dion, I think is how you say her last name. And Crystal cooked all the food. You guys, she's an amazing cook. The food was so good. It wasn't just like sandwiches and casseroles. It was like taco night, and she made etouffee and chicken gumbo and scrambled eggs with bacon and ham and all kinds of stuff for breakfast. I mean, it was seriously so good. And the cool thing about the Wizardry Retreat is it's all inclusive. So you buy a ticket, you get everything. Everyone gets everything. So all your patterns are printed out. In fact, I have them right here. You get digital of all of them. So they're just given to you, like the full color PDFs of everything. We did 5 projects, and with that you get 5 project kits. So they come with the hardware, the fabric. The fabric is cut, it's pre-interfaced. You do no prep work the whole weekend. So like you literally sit down in your dedicated space that you leave, set up the whole weekend. Everyone is in one room together, so it's not 2 groups or anything. Everybody does it together. And you just make projects, and the instructors instruct you, and there's like all instructors help in every class. And they didn't cram the weekend so full that we didn't have downtime. So you can free sew, or like we were playing games. Amanda, the expo host for Socation, she was there, and we sat and played some games with other people and had some drinks and some laughs. And it was a really very beautiful, fun, easygoing experience. I think if you're going to a retreat, sure you want to learn, sure you want to make it worth your while, but I don't want to be so go packed that I feel like, oh no, I'm not finishing my projects, but also I have no downtime to get to know people. The Wizardry retreat was perfect. Enough downtime, enough fun time, enough serious sit and learning time, great food, super nice people. Every instructor interfaces with each person. There was none of this like, oh, I'm not, going to talk to you, I'm too good for you feeling. Like, no. Everybody was just really kind and really nice, which again, I'm so sick of that, like, I'm not going to talk to you because you don't have a big following on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. I'm so sick of that. I just want everybody to just be nice to everyone. And that's exactly how Wizardry was. So I would highly encourage you, if you're scared to go alone because you feel like I don't know anyone. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know who was going. But you meet a lot of people who are like, I know you from Lynn's group, or like, I know you because you made that super cute bag the one time, or whatever. Everybody is so nice. I met probably, I'd say 10 new people, like officially met them, and like sat with them, ate with them, talked with them. And then, some old faces, that I kind of just knew from around, that it was like, oh, we're officially meeting. So nice to finally meet you. So I would say if you're looking for a retreat, go there. But on that same note, Zorel, Melanie and Lily, who are incredibly nice people and also don't have that, they do not have any of that kind of like, I'm too good for you attitude. They are doing a retreat. They are calling it the So Haunted Retreat. If you go on Facebook and look for So SEW Haunted Retreat, they just released details about the location, and it will be in California at the Napa, I think it's the Napa Valley Inn, something about Napa Inn. So it's a haunted location, and I don't know the details of what they're doing, but they release dates. It's October of this year. So let me see, what does this say? I'm planning to go to that one. It's close to me. So yes, the Napa one, and I don't know. I don't think they're going to have vendors. I don't know. I heard maybe Kasaya was going to teach, and let me tell you, I took a class with her at Wizardry. She's a phenomenal teacher. She's a super sweet person. One of the people I was sitting around playing games with was her, having, drinks, and we were just having a good time. Love her to death. Like, loved getting to know her on just a personal, regular level, not through the screen. And she's awesome, but she's a great teacher. Everybody was a great teacher, but I really, liked her class. So anyway, I'm on my second cup of coffee today. Can you tell? Because I'm talking fast. Need to catch my breath. By the way, we're past halfway to Halloween, and I have been watching Halloween movies in the background all week while I clean and do stuff. While I've been sewing, that's what I do. I turn that kind of stuff on. So I have made it through Monster House, Beetlejuice, I think 3 other movies I can't remember. I'm starting on the spooky movies. Oh, Coraline. It's spooky season, y'all. I'm over the hot outside. I'm in Texas. It's way too hot. I tried to get in the pool yesterday. My pool was 90 degrees and it was 99 degrees outside, and it was gross. And I was like, well, this was a mistake. I should have stayed inside in the AC. But this is my very favoriteest coffee mug. It's handmade off of Etsy. And I love that it looks like a little witch cauldron, the silhouette, and it's such thick, nice, good, hand, made quality ceramic. The girl who hand makes these, I bought it years ago, but I bought 2, one for me, one for a friend. I think her name is Jayla, Jayla. If you search on Etsy, she had really cute mugs. This was my favorite spooky mug. So anyway, that kind of covers, I think, most of the stuff about expos and classes. In September, if you're in Missouri or the Midwest area, I will be at an expo called the Oh So Crafty Expo. It's a lot of embroidery, but it's lots of crafts. So sublimation, laser work stuff, sewing for sure. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. The hotel is a historic Hilton. It's owned by Hilton, but it's a train station that they converted, I think. And it's an old historic building. Beautiful area of town. It's pretty close to the St. Louis Cardinals, stadium, the baseball stadium. So I know that she's incorporating like a night of baseball into the expo. I think VIP people get a free baseball ticket, and then teachers and vendors also as like a vendor appreciation. So I'm very excited about that. I have not been to a baseball game in like 20 years. I loved baseball. Who else loved baseball as a kid and then grew up and was like, I don't care about baseball? That is me. I was like obsessed with it as a kid. I played t-ball. I like thought, I don't know, I was gonna be into baseball. And then, I don't know, at some point I just had never watched a baseball game again. And I recently, when I was staying with my in-laws to get all of the teeth stuff done, my father-in-law likes baseball. They're in Arizona, so he's a big-time Diamondback supporter. And he's all excited about all the new rules to baseball. So I would sit with him at night occasionally and watch a baseball game, which it was more about spending time with him and less about the baseball game. I don't care about baseball. But, he'd like explain the rules to me again, or like tell me about, this guy's pitching style or whatever. I don't know. He's really into it. And that was really sweet and nice. It was a good like core memory kind of thing to spend time with him in that way. But I'm excited to go to a baseball game. And here's actually why. I did not realize that in all of the sports we have in America, baseball has like really good food. I'm a foodie. I love snacks. And I've been hearing about this phenomenon that like when you go to any big like Major League Baseball stadium, for the most part, I just thought it was like basketball or football. I'll tell y'all, I was a huge NFL, I stopped watching football a few years back because I literally was so into it, it would get my blood pressure up like a lot. And I just thought, this is not healthy. Like, I'm too engrossed, and I can't even tell you like anything about the current state of our nation, but I can tell you every football player at the time, their stats, like all this. I had to move away from it. I'm too engrossed in things. So I haven't watched football now for years. I can't tell you who's even on the teams anymore. Everybody like has retired. But, and this was at the time when fantasy football was real big too. So like a lot of my friends were doing fantasy leagues, and I did it for a little bit. And again, it just got my blood pressure boiling. I'm a Cowboys fan because I'm, from Texas. So it was like, it was a hard time to be a Cowboys fan. I'm sure it probably still is. And I was constantly disappointed, and I thought, you know what, I don't need this. So I ceased to watch any of that. But the last time I went to a football game, they had like crappy pizza, hot dogs, popcorn. That was kind of it. And like really bad draft beer. So I did not know. I thought football and baseball and all of them were kind of the same. Same thing with basketball. I thought it was the same thing. Baseball has borderline gourmet food as far as like street foods kind of go, like, Philly cheesesteak and gourmet crazy hot dogs and burgers and all kinds of things. Some of these stadiums, y'all, you can get like chicken parmesan and stuff. And I'm over here thinking, how did I not know this? So I'm actually really excited to try some of like the interesting treats and food at the baseball game when we go to Oh So Crafty. So anyway, and I've never been to St. Louis, so I'm excited to see the arch. And I don't know, if you're from that area, tell me something else we got to go see, because I'm interested. I'm here for it. We road trip, of course, everywhere we go, and we like to see things where we go. So, anyway, there's some chatter going on here, and I need to see what y'all are talking about here. Denny says, I should tell my daughter to start doing expos, massage therapist. yes, I'm 100%. I think, seriously, the guy that was at the one, he was booked solid. Like he went after hours, 2 of the days. And then even the last day he tried to, but then we lost power for a little bit. There was like a windstorm and the expo was over, but it was at the end. And he was saying, well, I'm going to take some more people. Yeah, like seriously, all the vendors, I don't even care about the customers, but after a whole day, if y'all are at an expo and you're sewing the whole time and you're shopping, you're carrying a bunch of stuff, your shoulders hurt and your neck hurts like mine does. So yes, I will pay somebody for a half hour to, get me all loose and, nice feeling so that I can, go, keep going. So yeah, and the customers loved it. It wasn't just the vendors. The customers, in fact, took up most of the time. And I was like, dang, get out of here. The vendors need this. We need it. They do gourmet food at the ballpark here. Lots of craft beers. Yeah. So that's the thing. I was like, oh, it's just, Bud Light and Mick Ultra. But no, they have like craft beer. They have cocktails. Like legit, really good sounding cocktails. I watched a piece on, I don't know, some morning program like CBS Sunday Morning or something. And they were interviewing someone who she has a whole brewery and whatever, and she set up in one of these ballparks and is making like craft cocktails. Hello, I would go to a baseball game if somebody else like wanted to enjoy it, because I don't care about the baseball, but I'll hang out and have fun, get some sun, and drink craft cocktails and eat tasty snacks, because like that's my wheelhouse. So, and by the way, somebody earlier, long time in the comments here was like, oh, I like your dress. It's actually a tank top. I don't know, you can't really, there you go. It's a tank top. I made it, and it's Backstitch Haunted Mansion fabric, which is one of my faves. So, okay, let's get to the shopping hauls, because I've talked at length enough about these expos, but I'll be at Oh So Crafty. And then the last one, I'm hoping to do Houston Quilt Festival at the end of the year. I don't know yet. Stay tuned on that, but you'll see me around. So Zarel. So here is what I bought. I think these are not on her website yet. So hold your horses. She said they'd be releasing soon. So let me see if I can first of all, her packaging, so cute. Let me see if I can get that in there. Now I can't really see that because the comments are in the way. But these are they have little jewels on them and they're silver. Isn't that cute? So I'm really excited because that goes with Haunted Mansion stuff. It's purple. So I bought some of those. These I know are new and are not on her website. Y'all know I love me some Disney. So look at these Pixar balls. And they're enamel, friggin' cute. And they're pretty big. I have pretty big hands. So look at my finger next to it. They're probably the size, a little bigger than a quarter. They're pretty big. So I'm really stoked about those. And I got a ton of zipper tape. This will lead into my next, I got fabric too. Let me grab it. She had really cute fabric, y'all. And, where did it go? I tossed it over here in my fabric pile of doom. Okay, here it is. Look how cute this is. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it's very summery. I love a good stripe and a floral. It's a little hard to see. There's a skinny stripe and a big stripe, and then the hibiscus flowers. Look how tropical, perfect for a pool tote. Or, a sun hat out of this would be really cute. Bucket hat. So I got that from her. And, okay, and then zipper tape. So this is my color for the year, I've decided. I'm just really into it. I don't really know why, but I am. Coral. I've always loved coral, but I got this coral zipper tape. And this went with my purchases from Wonderground Fabric. It's literally a whole bag of coral stuff. Just wait. So first off, this is her smooth glitter vinyl. Look how freaking sparkly. It's I don't know, and it's a beautiful, beautiful blush pink color. I was thinking to myself how good this would look with, let me grab something here, maroon. Y'all know I love me some maroon. So look at this next to maroon. So pretty. Oh, I love it. I love, love, love the blush pink. And so then also from Wonderground, I got some of her waterproof canvas in a coral, and look at how it's the same kind of family. Don't you love when you go into a vendor hall, by the way? This is why I go to the expos, even just to shop. because I went to AG yesterday to shop, and I'll go through that haul too. I can buy something from one place and then go next door and get something else and then go next door and get something else, and I can put together a whole thing, and I can touch and feel, and I'm not looking through my screen. Because if I had tried to like order tape and order this, you know, they wouldn't match perfectly, and then I'd be frustrated. So I love that you can physically touch and shop, matching everything, you know, and taking stuff out of your bag and going, I just bought this next door. Do you have anything to match it? Or, you know, people do this to me at expos all the time, which really cracks me up, and I love it. They're like, can I bother you? You're not bothering me. Like, yeah, come on, come bother me. They'll bring me fabric, and they'll say, I bought this fabric for a friend. I want to make her a bag because she'll love it. It's her birthday. What color hardware do you think, you know, would be good? And I take them around the booth. I'm like, let's go shop it. So I literally will lay it out and put hardware on top, and we'll build the whole bag together. And it's like, you know, okay, so you think this zipper tape, you think that zipper tape, you know, you think this hardware. That's not, you can't do that online. You know what I mean? Like laying silver on here and going, okay, well, silver looks really good, but what about gunmetal? Oh, gunmetal really pops. Let's go with gunmetal. And it's interesting to see, you know, people's faces kind of like light up and like, oh, that's such a good pairing. Like I never would have thought to put antique brass with this or whatever. My go-to is always gunmetal. That's all I use because, you know, then I know it matches, kind of a thing. So it's really fun to be able to have that experience. You just can't get that online. This, of course, happened by accident. I just saw that Melanie had this tape, and then Wonderground had this, so I, you know, bought that. So kind of funny. Wonderground is a Tula Pink rep now, or a authorized retailer. So I bought this, and I bought this part of the new Tula Pink Glow. Look how cute that is together. And I was thinking this also came from Wonderground, so what a cute bag, right? I love it. I'm really excited about that. So that's my stuff from Wonderground. I think that's it. And then, once again, dig in the peach, because look, like this is the Tula that I bought. These are the pattern weights I bought. They're like the same. I'm telling you, peach is my, like coral peach is my jam at this point. I bought a set of pattern weights, which I adore these. I was talking about Komani Creations earlier, Comani. So she makes these little pattern weights by hand. They're hand painted, and you can buy them individually or in sets, and you can customize your colors. So like check out the hand painting on these, and they're probably not going to show great in the light, but you can see they're all a little bit different, and they're beautiful, glossy, shiny, but they're, hopefully I can get that to show, it's glittery. There's like a beautiful iridescent, shiny, just gorgeous kind of quality about them. They're beautiful in person, and they're really weighty in a small package. And I really like that they're very flat, because if you're spreading them out on a table and you're trying to like maneuver, you're not catching anything. And you can customize your colors to your sewing space. So she also makes those big lazy Susans and a bunch of other things. So I really like these. I bought some magnets too. She hand paints the magnets. So you'll have to go look at her Facebook, because beautiful, beautiful work. And I love that it's hand painted, you know, like an artist, you know, somebody made them, just like our bags. So Jenny asked, how was my new packaging received? Oops, sorry, I'm hitting the table. The packaging was good. Everybody loved it. One thing that I fear that happened, which I'll make improvements going forward. So in past, if you've ever shopped my booth, you guys know that we have, let me grab one, these bins we've always used. And we just put the stuff in the bins, and we line up the bins on the table. Well, I think I kind of did y'all and myself a disservice a little bit. I thought people might be inconvenienced by digging through the bins, but I think it turns out that y'all actually really love digging through bins, and I kind of took that away from you. So what we ended up doing was we did grid walls, and I put everything like really nicely designed on each peg, separated super nice, and, you know, very clearly labeled. And I mean, sales were fine. The show was great. I'm, happy to go back. And everybody said that packaging was really beautiful. But then in my classes later, people were using my kits, which had, my hardware in them. And they'd go, do you have these at your booth? And it's like, yeah, I have those in every color. And I'm thinking to myself, how could you miss them? Because I have everything like really nicely organized and it's labeled. We had big clear signage. Everything was individually marked. But everybody was doing that. They're like, I missed your zipper pulls. I missed your D-rings. Wait, you have 1.5-inch hardware? And I'm like, yeah, I have it all. So I was literally having to walk people in the booth like, it's right here. And they're thinking, but I already shopped in here twice. How did I miss it? And I'm thinking, well, I don't know. So I'm thinking we're going to do a mixture of the bins again with the stuff on the walls, because people just really like to dig through bins. I think it captures your attention, and maybe while you're digging through one bin, you see more stuff. I don't know. And then the other thing that was, I think, not a problem, but an issue to solve, there was no backing on my booth. So I think people were looking at the packaging and seeing right through it to other booths. And there was nothing to stop your eye. So when you looked at the booth, you were missing all the little individual things that your eye needed to read, if that makes any sense. Because you could see the whole room kind of behind, or like the wall behind, and it was blending. Your eye just had nowhere to rest, so it wasn't like focused, which is how I think people missed, oh, there's D-rings right here. Oh, there's 1.5-inch hardware. Oh, there's this. So, it's always a learning curve. Every show is a little bit different. Going forward, I plan to do a lot more expos than I was doing. I was only doing like 1 a year, and I'm really aiming, by the way, to do about 4 a year. And I want to do 4 in different parts of the country. So if you have an expo by you that you're like, please come to this expo, let me know. Like, hey, there's a sewing show here I'd love to see you at. Hey, there's this big quilt show. Hey, come to this city because I need, the leads on it. I have a bunch of leads, but maybe it's not where y'all want to see me. And I have a group of vendor friends that we all exchange information, and we tell each other, hey, I'm going here. Are you coming too? So that's the best way to get your favorite sewing vendors at these shows. Like, you guys have to tell us, hey, there's a show here. And even if you previously didn't like the show, if your favorite vendors come, wouldn't you show up even for a day just to shop your favorite vendors? Because I would. I did that yesterday. So let's go through that haul real quick. So the one I went to yesterday was Applique Getaway. Some people just call it AG, so you'll see it referred to out online as AG or Applique Getaway. Okay, so here's my thing about AG. I have mixed feelings. I think it's a fine show. It's been going on for like 10, 11 years. My problem right out the gate is the organization hasn't been great. I did vend there several years back. With a different company that I was working for at the time. And when we showed up, nothing was set up. It was pure chaos. We did not have good communication the whole time that we signed up for that show. It was like the day before we found out any information. If you sent an email, we didn't get a response. It was not professional. The show itself was nice and fine, but that had nothing really to do with the organizers. It was the vendors. Like, we were all picking up the slack. There were weird things that they did that I was like, this is so unprofessional. For instance, we finished setting up our whole booth. Beautiful booth, took a lot of time. And then they wheeled out this monstrosity of like about this tall. I'm 5'11", okay? So this thing is big. It's up to here. It's about this wide. And it's got electrical plugs all over the front of it. And it's ugly and dirty and like just gross. And they literally put this thing with all of these cords plugged into it right in front of our booth. Right in front of the booth. And for a while, I just thought, okay, well, we're not open. I'm sure they're going to move that, right? We're like 5 minutes to opening the vendor hall, and they were just going to leave that there, y'all. And I said, excuse me, somebody needs to move this. It cannot stay here. We paid for a booth, and y'all are literally blocking half the booth with this thing. And there's this whole huge hall, and they're acting like, and we're in the middle of the room. We're not up against the wall. They're acting like this is some big deal for me to say, hey, I'm sorry, this cannot block our whole booth. It had cords coming out of it everywhere. They didn't tape any of the cords down, so people that were vendors were like tripping. It was bad, and they finally did move it. I was kind about it, but I was very stern, like, look, this is not professional, and it looks really bad, and this is not okay. Like, please move this literally anywhere else. And there were plenty of opportunities. And once they finally just moved it, it went away and it wasn't a big deal, but there was a lot of stuff like that. The person who organizes it is a vendor herself, which is why I think a lot of the behavior that's going on is kind of preposterous, because I'm thinking if you were vending at someone else's show, you wouldn't want to be treated like that. This is not cool. But so this show's been going on for like 10 years. It's kind of been run into the ground because that's the experience every year. And I knew a lot of vendors several years ago. The last time I did it was 2021, and it was kind of a mess then. It was kind of a mess before. It's still, from what I hear from other vendors, it's... But as far as shopping goes, and that's the problem, because they've kind of gotten this reputation amongst vendors, a lot of vendors don't want to go back. So when you go, it's a lot of the same vendor, like over and over and over. Like, how many sewing machine salespeople can you have in one vendor hall when there's only 15 vendors? So it's fine. I went there last night specifically to see Wizardry, who did the retreat I was talking about before. They have great stuff. I needed to up my supplies a little bit. And I wanted to see Melissa and Crystal. They're so, so sweet. And, we talked a little bit. It was really nice to see them. I'm really excited to show you guys what I got. But they're literally the only vendor that I shopped because I will say this, still worth it to go there. They had all their thread. I bought some thread. I think I bought these. I think is what I got. These 3 that are unopened. This one is the Phoenix Fire, and then this purple is Eggplant, and the pink is the Bubble Gum. So I didn't want to pay shipping on this, and I got a free ticket to get in there. They were doing the Friday night shopping thing. But just for me personally, there wasn't a lot of bag making stuff. It was a lot of embroidery and a lot of HTV, like heat press stuff. So if you're into that, they got a whole haul for you, but for me, the only thing I really wanted or needed was this. There was one other booth that had fabric and stuff, but I don't really need fabric. I have a ton of that. So I just needed basic supplies. Love the Wizardry thread, by the way. This is my Tex 45, which I use in my straight stitch, but I also use their stuff, their Tex 80 across the room over there, on my industrial. So I bought some industrial thread too. Trying to think, I can't remember what color I bought that's over there. I think I bought, it's this one. I'll just show you guys the little one because it's the same one, but it's a much bigger spool. It's this one. It's called Villainous. Isn't that freaking cool? I got it for like a Beetlejuice bag, but it's perfect for Maleficent or like Halloween villains. Dark purple, black, and green, I think. Pretty thread. So I have that one in the 80 and the 45. But anyway, they had a 30-foot booth. They're still there right now, by the way. So if you're in the Irving area of DFW, that's where they're at. They're over at the Weston DFW. And Crystal and Melissa brought, I should say, ton of stuff. Thread, interfacing, waterproof canvas, machine feet, tons of zippers, tons of webbing, tons of thread. They have a wall of thread. And then, of course, hardware, which I did get a little bit of too, and I'll show y'all because I have a really good idea. So I'll just start kind of showing you. So I got lots of zipper tape. They had these Harry Potter colors, and I want to make some Harry Potter Mav packs. So I got the Harry Potter house colors, which are, good for other things too. So I got those. Then, that's all webbing. I got black with black teeth. I just needed that. That's a staple. This purple I just really liked. I thought that was interesting. Different color. I got brown on brown. Melissa, if you watch this, I'm waiting on you to get brown thread. This is so funny, you guys. She carries like every thread under the sun, and I needed brown thread. She doesn't carry brown thread at all. And I was like, why? I need brown thread. So apparently it took her like months to even get this brown tape in. She hates brown. So she doesn't carry brown thread or brown anything. And I'm like, I'm going to harass you relentlessly. I need you to carry brown thread. I need brown. And so funny because I want to double check. Yeah, I have no brown of any kind in 45. because I have some of the Saya swag thread too, but I've just never bought brown. And then in my 80 over there, I have no like chocolate brown. Brown is a staple. Like I use brown a lot. I need brown, black brown, anything like that. So anyway, I got this brown thread because I have an idea for a Willy Wonka bag and it looks like chocolate. So I'm excited about that one. And I got this specific, this is the bright rainbow. Do y'all see? It's like a different kind of rainbow on white. And I got that because I got Backstitch haul in that I'm going to show you guys too. And this is going to match one of those fabrics I'm really stoked about. I also got some of this pastel with black because I thought that's an interesting thing. And then, like I said, I've got a Beetlejuice bag idea that's been rolling around in my noggin for a while. I'm all in for spooky season. By the way, where's my coffee that's now cold? I'm going to drink it anyway. Still pretty hot. That's the good thing about a good mug, y'all. The thicker, like handmade, thick, nice mugs, they keep your coffee hot for a long time. I got a price tag stuck on me. Anyway, as an aside, I'm full in on spooky season right now, so I've got woven tags that I'll show you guys. You've probably already seen, but I have new woven tags coming that I just finished drawing. I've got Beetlejuice mixed in there along with some other things. And I am getting ready to do more cork and leather release. You guys have been begging me, but I haven't been home. I'm not neglecting you, I promise, I just haven't been home. And then when I did get home, I got to catch up. So there will be leather release and cork release on Applique statement tags, cork tags, and now new woven tags. And Beetlejuice will be incorporated in that. So stay tuned. I don't have exact dates, but you know, it's a thing. You'll find out. You'll find out when you'll find out. You'll find out when I find out. How about that? But this felt very Oogie Boogie Beetlejuice. I hope you can see that's not black teeth. It's iridescent. Do you see that? It's like shark skin kind of on the acid green. So like, how good is this going to be with that variegated villainous thread I just showed you? I love it. Really quick. So this is my idea. I also have to dig something else out of here real quick too. Stepping around the corner to my supplies. Where is that? If I were my striped, dripping Beetlejuice vinyl, where would I be? I think I showed this off to you guys a really long time ago. Oh, where is it? Okay, there's one, there's another. Well, dang it, now that I'm looking for it, of course I can't find the thing that I want. Pooh. Okay, well this came from Glitterbug Fairy. The one that I'm looking for. But, oh, my knees are too old to be crouching, you guys. Okay, so I got these a while back, and I am absolutely in love with them. And if y'all like it, I will run it for retail. It's like Lady Beetlejuice, and I love it. I love a good stripe, you guys. So here I am thinking like, ooh, acid green tape, iridescent dark hardware, some stripes, some variegated thread. I'm into it. I like it. But I thought it was over here. But now I don't know, y'all. It's from Glitterbug Fairy. It's just black and white stripe with green drip on it. Different drip than this. I don't know where it is. I have too much stuff. Oh, that's part of my haul for later. I got to show you guys. I have a Glitterbug Fairy haul. I will show you too. But anyway, I'm excited to do Beetlejuice stuff. Let me put these back. Because I'm just in the mood for spooky season. Who else is already sick of summer? I get sick of summer every year, like right after 4th of July. I just feel like 4th of July happens and then I'm just like, can we be done now? I don't like being hot. Okay, so Denny suggested a foam board behind the grid walls. Yes and no. So I have an idea to use like flocking curtains, whatever. If the show has pipe and drape, I don't have to worry about it. OSQE has pipe and drape, they provide it, so I'm not worried about people seeing through the booth. but that's a super good idea. But in future, I have some other ideas going forward. I'm always trying to improve the booth. So by the way, if y'all have ever shopped my booth, I'm always looking for, critiques and criticism that's helpful. So if you've shopped the booth and you're like, hey, I really wish you had this, or I really want you to have that, tell me. Like, I'm all ears. I'm here for you. I'm literally here to bring you product, to come to your town and like let you shop. So we don't know if you don't tell us like, hey, I didn't like this, or your booth was too crowded, or it was too empty, or whatever. Like, at least for me, tell me. Please send me a private message, an email. Like, let me know, hey, I really miss when you used to have bins and I could dig through all the bins. If I don't need to have packaging, then I won't spend it. Like, I'm a small business, so I thought that the packaging would help y'all out visually and like keep it organized. But if you just want to dig through bins, I could just throw it in bins. Like, that's easy. I'll do whatever you want. So, you tell me. So, but I will have a 15 or a 20-foot booth at OSQE, and I am planning to stock it to the gills. But we'll get to that in a little bit after all this haul stuff. Let me see what else here. People may also feel bin shopping is more discounted items. Yeah, I don't know. I do think that's the case, and I'll tell you guys right now, my prices are low. I've always kept them low. I plan to keep them low, but if I'm having to do show packaging, I did have to raise the cost. Just it shows a small amount, to get the stuff there. Previously, I've never done that. It's always been the same cost as the website, but the packaging has to get paid for, so the cost did have to go up by, some change per item to pay for it. So if people are like, and here's my personal opinion, I don't need it to be in packaging because I just take it out of the packaging and use it, and then the packaging goes in the trash or the recycle. I did work really hard to make sure that 100% of my packaging on the outside, the inserts and the packaging is recyclable. So, but people aren't going to recycle it. In some cases, they're just going to throw it. So I hate adding the expense. I hate making more waste. I just want to have hardware that's protected and safe and nice quality, and good prices. Like, that's my goal. Good prices, good quality, good customer service. That's it. Those are like my things. Anything else on top of it is gravy. I treat my customers nice. I always treat people the way I would want to be treated, including, like, if I wouldn't use the item myself, I don't sell it. So I'm not going to buy bad quality stuff and then sell it to you, because it's like, we spend too much money on these other supplies to put bad hardware that's either ugly and cheap looking, or also it doesn't last. So, that's where my head is. It's like, if I wouldn't buy this, I'm not going to sell it. I just won't. There are so many shops out there. You can go get that stuff elsewhere if you want it. I offer what I offer because I use it and it's good quality. And I try to keep my, prices low. That's it. It's just not that complicated for me. So it's like, if you don't want to pay for the extra packaging and you don't care about it, then why? Well, who am I doing it for? Because it's extra effort and money from me. And then, everything gets passed down to the customers. It just does. That's how any business is. The more expensive it is for the business, the more expensive it is for the customer, period. So anyway, if y'all shop us and you tell me like, hey, I want my bins back, and put it in the worst packaging possible, then tell me. So anyway, Krista says, hi, I just got my unicorn mane for the first time and I can't wait to use it. Yes, I don't have unicorn mane. I have Phoenix Fire Villainous and like one other variegated one. And I have a few others over there in the industrial, but I really love her thread. I love the Saya Swag thread too. Both of them I love equally. And that's where I'm gonna get my thread from now on. I have been for a couple years now, but I have no plans to switch it up, I guess, let me say. I have some of that thread on the yellow cones that I'm working to get rid of. It's okay, but it's not that great. It's just okay. It kind of shreds and it doesn't sort of seem to hold up as nicely as the Saya Swag or the Wizardry thread. So I would 100% recommend those. They're a little more costly, but you're talking about the yellow cones. When I bought them a couple years ago now, like 2020, those were like $8.50. The cones from like Wizardry are like $12.50. So you're talking about $3, but when you're talking about thousands of yards worth of thread, I prefer to spend a little more because the yellow thread tends to shred sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if it hasn't been sitting around a warehouse for a long time, because that's like generic thread. Every industrial shop sells that, like Wah-Whack and, any little mom and pop industrial shop you go to, they buy that from like one distributor. And I just kind of think sometimes maybe it doesn't move as much. I don't know, because some of it I have, it really shreds a lot. So anyway, the last thing, two things. I got at Wizardry, webbing, which I'm very stoked about. And these little doohickeys, guys, I really like these. I have such good ideas. I'm starting to get my Sojo back, if anybody cared to notice. This whole last year has kind of been a little bit of a train wreck emotionally for lots of reasons. I haven't sewn anything, but I sewed something. Well, I sewed at Wizardry because I was forced to, because they give you kits, and what was I going to do, not sew? But I hadn't quite gotten my Sojo back. It wasn't, not their fault. It helped, but it wasn't there. So, but I think I finally have it back. And we'll get into that a little bit too, you know, what's been like helping me, I suppose. So for one, I got this webbing. It's so very Haunted Mansion. So I love that one. This was from Wizardry again. So I got that. I took it out of the bag because you can't really tell, but this one you can see. So I got this braided style, which I also love. Of course, going back to all my Beetlejuice feels here. Black and white stripe. I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but I like it. And this one, which is more of like a Nightmare Before Christmas Jack stripe, I feel like. Tim Burton-y, kind of. Sweeney Todd stripe, you know, any of that. I think when I get off with you guys today, I'm going to cut some bags and have a Tim Burton marathon. That's the kind of mood I'm in. So these last things I got at Wizardry, I'm going to divert for a minute, but you're going to find out why. We'll talk about the Mav Pack templates, because I made, so this is my second Mav I've ever made. I made the first one at the retreat. Loved the class dearly, but I personally, this is just a personal opinion, not dogging on anybody, because I loved the retreat and I'd highly recommend it. I didn't love some of the materials we worked with. Some of them I loved. Others of them, not so much. So I am team don't interface your vinyl. There is not an ounce anywhere of interfacing on this Mav Pack. Most of my bags, because of what I use and how I construct them, I don't use interfacing. This bag is like nice and stable. It stays up on its own. You see how like rigid? There's no interfacing in here anywhere. I used a medium weight marine vinyl. This is a textured. This is regular old marine vinyl from Glitterbug Fairy, your run-of-the-mill, really nice marine vinyl. Same with this. The inside is, let's see if I can like show you. This is like OtterTex waterproof canvas, normal waterproof canvas, and cotton binding. I did the binding method on here. And this dot is Backstitch, and it's a thin waterproof canvas. It's their silky, so it's, I'll show it to you here in my Backstitch haul. There's no interfacing on this bag, you guys, and it's great. It feels nice. It feels good. I put a whole water bottle in here and a phone and some other stuff and wore it around. If you do the thing right, if you're using vinyls, you really shouldn't need to interface. And I didn't love that the kits they made us for this particular bag were just materials I didn't love. And then the interfacing they put on it was so stiff, and my fingers, this is a really small bag, and you get this tiny little opening to turn through on it if you do it the traditional way. Great pattern, easy to work with if you're working with cotton. If you're doing an all vinyl or mostly vinyl, I'm just here to tell you, like, I'm not about that life. It was way too hard to turn with the thick interfacing. I didn't think it needed the interfacing. So it was a good learning experience to reiterate, re-solidify what I already knew that I didn't like. And then I came home and I made this one. So the reason I made this one is because if you subscribe to my newsletter, you will find out, or did find out, I am now offering templates from Lynn's Handmade for all of her patterns, starting with the Mav Pack. Woohoo! This is a prototype pattern, by the way. We're going to really dig into those, and I'll tell you what I've decided to do. But I made this one with the template, 100% with the template. So I cut all the pieces with templates except for the rectangles. I cut these pieces with templates. I cut this piece with a template, and I'm going to show them to you. But jumping right back real quick, when I was at the Wizardry booth last night, y'all, I found these. They're so flipping cute. And I thought to myself, how flipping cute would this have been on the Mav pack I just made? So I'm going to hold this up like in front of the white. So I'm hoping you can see it. So on the Mav pack, you have this D-ring up here. And that's, you can use a triangle ring, a D-ring, whatever, to connect your strap. But what if you used this? Everybody, like, hopefully you can see that. It's a gunmetal. I don't know what she calls this. Let me see. There's no tag on them, but they're like a strap connector. So you put webbing or the strap through the bottom, right there, 1 inch, and then you clip your lobster claw into this. So I'm thinking this Mav pack is so freaking cute, but what a cool accent if you had this right here. Does that make any sense? Connected to your little webbing in place of the D-ring, right? So you loop that through and then you connect your lobster claw instead of into the D-ring, because you wouldn't have a D-ring, into this part. How cute is that? Do you see? Hopefully I can get my arm like out of the way. Isn't that freaking cute? And especially because I want to upsize the Mav pack. So this is the original size, which I think for some frames it's okay, but y'all, I don't know, you know, you've probably seen me in person and I know the camera can be deceiving both ways. I'm pretty broad. I'm pretty wide, even when I'm a thinner weight, which I'm not right now. But I am pretty broad shouldered and I'm tall. I'm 5'11". So, you know, I'm not petite in any way. I'm also very hourglassy and I'm thick. Like I got thick thighs, thick hips, and I'm fairly busty too, in case you didn't notice. So while I love this little bag, when I put this thing on, just if you're like looking to compare for sales or make one for you, I love the pattern. But y'all, this little bag, oops, I just got connected to my microphone. It kind of just like disappears in my boobs. It's like, it's a little too small on my frame. On somebody like Lynn's or like one of y'all like little petite, very svelte people out there, I think this is a perfect size. You can fit a whole Dasani water bottle in here, just as it is. I thought I had one in here, but I don't. It's deceiving how much you can fit in here. You can fit a big cell phone, a Dasani water bottle, like a normal sized one, and like a, you know, couple of other things in here. So if you're looking to carry this to like the Disney parks or on vacation, it is a good size. You could fit a decent wallet in here, like a purse pal kind of. You can fit enough, but I feel personally, I told my husband, I feel like I stole a backpack from an American Girl doll and like I'm wearing it on my front. That's what I feel like. It's just a little bit too small. So I just want it to be like a little bigger, and then I think it would be perfect for me. So to that end, I can tell you two things for sure. I am team binding, team 100% binding. The reason is it gives the bag a beautiful shape, beautiful everything, no interfacing. Like the bag feels really good, because binding, cotton binding is, it acts kind of like corset boning inside the bag. The other thing people were asking when I posted this, they said, oh, your curves are so nice, which thank you. But they were like, I love the piping. So I did add this piping around it. That also helps to round out these corners really nice when it's pushed out, but it also gives the bag structure. So I am like all about doing other things than interfacing, because it helps my bag, but it also like adds details at the same time versus stuff that you're doing behind the scenes, like interfacing. You can't really see that. You can feel it, but you can't see it most of the time. So, you know, my general opinion is I'd rather skip all the interfacing in the world, use good quality, decent, thick-ish vinyls that aren't crazy, not do interfacing, not deal with any of that, and make a super cute, fun bag that has good details. So that's where the piping and the binding comes in. But this is the original size. I think today my plan is to make a 115 size, and if I get to it, a 120. So, and I'm gonna use this on the top of it instead of the D-ring, because I just think that would be so flipping cute. So I'm really excited to try it. I got them in 5 colors. I got silver, rainbow, ooh, oops, rose gold, and gold. And so I'm really excited to pair that. And then I got a gunmetal. But look at it, it's so cute. It's got little fireworks and the castle. I love it. So if I end up liking those, I might, but I might custom run some of those with like some Harry Potter things and some other stuff that could be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. So, hi Annette, by the way. Been a little minute since we talked. She said that's a beautiful strap connector. Thank you. I'm very excited about it. I had checked out for everything else and I was walking away and I stopped and saw that strap connector and I immediately thought of the Mav pack and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do that. I have to do that. So, do you want to see what I want to do with the rose gold one? I have all these ideas. I'm so happy to have my Sojo back. So I just got this. I had a Backstitch haul the other day. Maybe that's what we should talk about next is the Backstitch haul. I've had all this mail piling up, you guys, for months, and I just now got to open it because I haven't been home. Like, every time I leave, I come home, I leave for a funeral. I come home, I leave for dental work. Come home, leave for wizardry retreat. I forgot, like, what my house looked like. So, we'll go into the Backstitch haul because this is one of the things I bought some of the stuff at Wizardry for. So, I got this, I think they called it tissue paper, I don't know, something. So I got this. It's like a very pretty corn silk blue, I might call it, with white. So look at how good this looks with rose gold. Look at that combo. It's so pretty and it pops. So I'm thinking the whole bag in this, and like from Glitterbug Fairy, I have a haul from them too, but I just got all the waterproof canvas colors, literally from Glitterbug Fairy. I'm like set for life on waterproof canvas. So I got a white, so I'm thinking white waterproof canvas inside, or this blue, like this is the back side of it, but the front side is a little better. Or cream, you know, I don't know, but I have this and I'm so stoked about it. So I got this one to make a Mav pack with rose gold. I'm so excited. So that is a thing. So that's haul number one. Let me see where I want to put this. I'll probably just stack it back here and knock over everything, by the way. So that'll be fun. Okay, so next on the Backstitch haul, we'll get back to the Mav pack and the templates in a minute because I do need to clear some space here. Oh, goodness. Okay, sticky tape. I got, of course, Sillos. I know nobody likes white. I know we all hate white because it gets dirty and whatever, but I can't resist Sillos on white. I love it. I love Sillos on white. So when I was at Wizardry last night, I saw she had this specific rainbow variegation where it's like really bright rainbow and it's ombre. Because you know there's lots of types of rainbow out there. And I thought I have to have a little bit of it because look, it literally, it's so perfect. It's the perfect like primary colors to match the white Sillos. So I had to, that's why I grabbed I got like a little, it's probably like a 1 yard cut. That's all I need for a Mav pack. And then I was thinking like, what if I put, I don't know if there's Pixar characters on here, but the freaking Pixar ball, the enamel pull from Zorel. Like, I'm just so excited. I have so many things. And then I was thinking, you know, so I love these with Pixar and all of that. These are my tags, which you guys can purchase on the website right now. They're available. I adore my new woven tags. They're so cute. Look at that. My little, let me try to like turn the corner here. There we go. Kind of wanted to roll in there. So I drew this little bird. I draw all of my art on my tags. So I drew the little bird and it says, this one's mine, 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 mine. It's the little Pixar Finding Nemo mine birds. Sorry, my nose is always itchy. My face is always itchy when I'm on these lives. Isn't he cute? I love my woven tags, which I'll show off the rest of the collection of those to y'all in a minute. Because if you didn't know, I just released 5 new woven tags and I have like 10 new woven tags on the way. Sneaky little peek whatever thing. I have a collaboration going with somebody that I am so stoked. She is the sweetest person in the world. oh my gosh, all of the big meanie creeps that I've been like experiencing lately. But what it has done is A, it made me set some boundaries for myself. B, it just, I learned a lot of lessons obviously that were really painful and I wish I hadn't. But what it has done, it has surrounded me with so many super sweet people that I didn't know before who have connected with me and interacted with me. And now I really feel like I've finally found, you know, what I really hope are some nice people, but they feel really nice. And they're just like the gals at Wizardry, Melissa and Crystal, and like Nicole at New Moxie, and, you know, Amanda at Socation, and so Oside. Like so many of these people, they're just kind-hearted. And so I am so excited about all the collaborations and things I have going on currently with just nice people. Can I just tell you guys, like, it's when you are so drained and your cup is so dry and your heart just feels sad, it's so nice to connect with nice people, and like it just fills you up. So I feel a lot better these days, you know, just with everything I was going through. But like, I'm really excited about this collaboration I have. I don't want to say anything else about it because it's going to be a secret. Even when we release it, it's going to be a mystery. So you guys will just have to buy into the mystery and trust us that it's going to be fun. But we are both very, very excited about it. And we haven't figured out exactly a release for this. It's going to be just a little thing. It's not a crazy expensive box or anything like that. It's just a funny, interesting, treat yourself kind of, order yourself a cute little fun sewing mystery. And it's not a whole project or anything. It's just a little accent. But I don't want to, I can't reveal any more of it because she'll probably be like, why are you telling people? But I'm so excited about it. So anyway, but that is sort of on the way along with all the little tags. So we'll finish the Backstitch haul here. I have like a whole pile, spilling coffee, of stuff here to go through because it's just been piling up. So what else did I get from Backstitch? Of course, you guys saw the black Silos, of course, on the Mav over here. So that's what I used. This is the, I think my favorite vinyl of theirs, personally. I'm not a fan of the smooth. The smooth is too smooth and it has a really weird sheen. But I have like 9 lights pointed at me right now. And there's like no, it's got like a matte effect on this. And I really like the Saffiano texture on this. If you've ever bought like a Michael Kors bag or something, they do a lot of what's called Saffiano leather, and it has like little tiny texture all over it, and it wears really well. So this is that exact same feeling, and I like it, and it sews really nice. So that's the one I always order, is the textured, and that's what I got in all of these. So I also got, okay, so these are 2 different canvases. I got double of these, so I guess I don't, hold on. That's weird. It says these are the same, but they feel, oh, I see. I got 2 of these, 1 of these. So, okay, sorry. They're the same print, but they're different bases. And it says she's a fan of the Saffiano too. Yeah, I just like the Saffiano feel. When it first came out many years ago, like, I don't know, we're talking like 2005, I had a Michael Kors tote bag that I carried, and I was like really hesitant about it. Y'all, I've never had a bag that's lasted longer in my life. That Saffiano leather, I'm not very gentle on bags. I like throw them in the car seat, throw them on the floor, like sling them wherever. That bag literally lasted 5 years, and I don't switch bags. When I have a bag, I wear it every day, all the time, regardless of if it matches or not. I have a lot of crap in my purse, and I don't have time to switch. I'm not doing it. So whatever I buy, it better last, and it better like really last, or else I'm judging it against that Michael Kors bag that I got on sale for like 80 bucks. That bag, ooh, it saw some stuff. It went through some things, and it was that Saffiano leather, and I was not a fan when I first bought it, but it was kind of all that was around, and there wasn't another option. It wore so incredibly well. So I would tell you, if you're on the fence about that or the textured vinyl like that, do it. You will like it. I really think you will, especially if you want long wearing. So this is one of the coordinates from the same round in Backstitch, and this is their water resistant canvas. It doesn't have the rubber backing on the back. You can see it's just more of like a canvasy. Hopefully you can see that. and we really don't need to make bags waterproof. The only reason we do that is because it avoids interfacing, but this stuff is just as stiff without the rubber backing. And it doesn't fray too much. Now, I would not leave this raw edge. If you cut it and leave it for a long time, it will fray. But waterproof canvas will fray too. It just takes a while. So that would be my advice to you on this. Obviously, you're going to need to bind it or put it in a seam. Don't leave it raw unless you want a little fraying, but it's not a pretty fray like a cotton. It's like, you know, wiry, like stick out kind of odd. It's not very cute, so don't leave it raw. But it works great for liners and other stuff. You can triple fold it, make a strap out of it, or would I say triple? You'd want to quadruple fold this so you have no raw edges. But make straps out of it. It's good stuff. So this is the coordinate that goes with, I mean, it could go with anything. That's why I bought it, because it's very versatile, but it goes with this. That's what it's made for. But I love stuff like this because it's just versatile. Like, you could put anything with it. So this is one base, and y'all kind of see how stiff this is. Sort of like a papery kind of fabric. It doesn't rip, not like paper like that, but it's, do you see the drape on that? So check this out. This is the same print, but a different base, and I think they call it water resistant canvas silky is what this one is I'm about to pick up. So do you see the difference? This one is a little bit more like fluid. This one, do you see the difference? It's a little hard to tell, but this one, like, this is my test. If you try to bend it, like, see how this is very stiff? And then the silky, if we bend it, is like very kind of floppy, loosey, soft. The one thing I'll tell you, this makes like that windbreaker noise, but it's thicker than windbreaker fabric. Like you know, those jogger outfits from like the 90s, which are kind of making a comeback. Think like Gene Simmons. No, Russell Simmons. I always do that. Russell Simmons, not Gene Simmons from AC/DC. I did that on my last video too, you guys, but I was confusing Gene Simmons from, and I just said AC/DC, it's Kiss. What's wrong with me? I was confusing him with, who's the workout guy? The, whatever, I can't even remember his name now. I was confusing the rock and roll guy with the makeup with the workout guy. And now I just confused the record producer with the rock and roll guy. Whatever. Think about windbreakers. That was the point of this. I think Adidas or Nike's windbreakers, this is what it feels like here, but it's a velvety back and it's got substance to it. So this is what I used in here. That's what the lining is in here, mixed with a little bit of waterproof canvas, OtterTech style. So anyway, that's my Backstitch haul. Sorry for that hamstery, unpleasant kind of noise there, a little squeaky. And you can hear the difference, by the way, when I roll them up, right? So thank you, Krista. Richard Simmons. Why can't I remember that? This literally happened on a different video and I could not remember his name. Richard Simmons. Thank you. Gene Simmons, Russell Simmons, Richard Simmons. They are all three very different people that look nothing alike, and their jobs aren't even really alike in most cases. So whatever. I tell ya, I'm on my second cup of coffee today, but that's a decaf one because it's espresso, so it still actually has caffeine. I don't know if I had enough today. I went shopping at Wizardry last night. My lovely husband Corey came with me, and afterwards we went and had a way too late, very delicious dinner at the Tommy Bahama restaurant. We had a gift card that we had to use, so it was like, let's go have a big dinner. But you guys, I ate a huge steak and I had a delicious drink, and we got to talking with the manager, who was so nice, and he brought us a complimentary. We had asked about an old appetizer they used to have on the menu, just out of curiosity, like, oh, I guess you got rid of that at some point. And we couldn't remember if it was there that we had it. And he goes, yeah, we used to have that. Well, he comes over like 10 minutes later with that appetizer. And he was like, oh, on the house, like we made it special. And we were like, wow, like that's amazing. Thank you. But we ordered these huge meals and then I felt bad not eating the appetizer, but oh my God, I was so full. We didn't even eat dinner. We sat down to dinner at 8 o'clock, which is like way late for us. And then we had this huge meal and we had this appetizer on top of it and all these things. And it was fabulous, but I was like laying in bed last night, like groaning, I ate way too much food. I am at that stage of life. I have finally crossed that threshold. And if you know, you know, everybody always tells you it's coming, where you got to start like, you know, not doing that anymore. I remember a time in my life where I could eat burgers at 2 a.m. and pizza and overeat because it just tasted good and I was hungry. Now I'm like, no, small portions. And if I haven't eaten by 6:30, I'm having crackers for dinner because I'll just be up all night. So yeah, it's, I'm at that point. I needed to not eat a giant steak and potatoes at 9:15 last night on top of an appetizer. And then we were just totally gluttonous and we ordered dessert. And I was very sad all night. So I'm pretty tired today, which is a little bit why I'm not remembering, you know, some of these people, but also I'm just kind of a doofus. It's me. That's just me. I'm a little doofy. And I own it. And if you ever meet me, like I said, I'm friendly to whoever, and I'm like, this is it. This is all you're getting. I'm going to confuse the name of somebody. I'll probably confuse your name with somebody. And I'll probably tell you really dumb stories that you probably don't find funny. That are weird and quirky because I can only be what I am. You know what I mean? So let me clean this up. I have 2 other mail haul things to go through, and then we'll talk about templates and just, I don't know, some more like biz stuff. And I'll show you guys the new tags if you haven't seen them, which the response to those, by the way, has been like through the roof, which makes me so happy. I love when I make weird little things that make my heart happy. And it's always a little intimidating sharing that with the world, because it's a piece of you. At least with me, it's a piece of me. It's my sense of humor. It's my goofy stuff. And in this case, I drew all of these things. So it's my art. And I'm not trained in it. I just like to draw stuff sometimes. And I don't really consider myself good or bad or an expert. I certainly don't have any technical training. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I like to do fun little things. And so when you like offer that up to the world, it can be a little terrifying because you're like, is this going to land? Or are people just going to look at it and go, she's weird. This is weird. But that's a big thing I'm trying to work on this year for my mental health, is being vulnerable in lots of ways. So being really honest with you guys, being really honest with myself, really like introspective on things, and things that I normally would have like really guarded close to the vest, and just like, I'm not going to put that out there because what if people don't like it? I'm just going to put it out there. And I'll be honest with you, I have had a really positive response. Again, it's led to me finding better people who I really feel like are my people, who appreciate me for myself, which is really helpful because it's like, oh, I can actually be me maybe. And like, that would be cool. Like, I don't have to feel weird. And I'm starting to discover that like, it's okay to take up space when you're around the safe people. And it's okay to put your vulnerable stuff out there. So I am really grateful in multiple ways that the response to the tags has been good, because I was a little scared that people were going to look at them and go, these are weird. They don't make sense. They're kind of silly. But like, that's me. I'm a little weird and I kind of don't make sense. And I'm kind of goofy. So anyway, yeah. I'm very excited about those, and I'm excited to release more of them. So if you like what you saw, then, you know, you can come back for more weirdness and silliness. I don't know how to get this open. How do I get this open? This haul is from Glitterbug Fairy, by the way. But I can't, can I pull it? There's like no seam on this. This is like a saran wrap. You know when you try to find the end of a roll of tape or saran wrap? Oh, I found it. Okay. Sorry for the crinkles. I know that sound is kind of nerve grating. Okay, so this is a clear vinyl, which, okay, so really quick too on the whatever of retreats. I had booked the Okla Roots cruise. Corey and I were booked on another Disney cruise. And then when Just Okla Roots announced her cruise, I thought to myself, I want to do that cruise. And I asked Corey and he said, yeah, let's just swap. So we swapped. Problem is, we did book the Okla Roots cruise and I got all excited. That's actually what I ordered this for. But bummer of all bummers, he found out he's got some work stuff next year that had to be put on the calendar. We can't shift it and he cannot take time off for that. So we had to unbook the Okla Roots cruise. So I'm sad, but any of y'all who are going, I know you're going to have fun, and I'll be really excited to hear what everybody does with it. But we were going to do the Okla Roots cruise. We did have it booked. We had to call and have our travel guy swap us to yet a different cruise. So now we've officially had 3 different dates for Disney cruises. So we're going on a different Disney cruise, but not the Okla Roots cruise, unfortunately. So we decided instead we're going to take a real vacation, which we need to do. No work or shows involved. And we are going to, what are we going to do? We're going to go to Disney, the parks. We're going to take the RV, and we're really excited to, do that. So we're going to take the RV, go stay at Disney in Fort Wilderness, and then leave that there for a couple days, go on the cruise. I think we're doing, I can't remember if it's a 4 or a 7 night cruise, but we're going to do a nice long cruise to relax after going really hard at the parks, and then come back and drive on home. So we've never done a Disney cruise, and we've never done like any of that kind of combination cruise and parks thing. So we're really excited to do that. But I ordered this, and I'm still going to use it, but I ordered it for the Okla Roots cruise. So I think I'll just use it for fish extenders while I'm on the regular cruise, and then for me. So it's clear, there's a sheet behind this, but I'm using it to help hopefully like make this show up better. Look how cute. And this is the new style TPU vinyl, so it's really soft and pliable. I've never worked with that before, so I'm interested to try it. Do y'all know, I just realized I'm gonna have to look. I should have a shipment here somewhere in this house of jelly vinyl from Glitterbug Fairy, because I ordered this. What did I do with that box? Well, that's weird. I'm gonna have to go back and look. Maybe I just imagined ordering it, but I thought I had a whole thing here and it's not here in my pile. I just have waterproof canvas, so what the heck? Okay, well, I just realized if I didn't get it, I'm gonna go and get some from Shanna, because I love her, but this is Glitterbug Fairy. This is one of the 13-inch rolls, and I really like the art. How cute is that for fish extenders? So I'll probably make some little keychains or boxy bags or pouches or something with it. And then I'll make myself probably a Mav or Dana out of this. I mean, there's plenty on that roll. So I really can't believe I was all stoked to try glitter or jelly vinyl, you guys. I'm going to have to really go look at my transactions and see, didn't I order that? Do y'all ever do that? You think you ordered a thing and then you just imagined it? Maybe that's what I did, but I swear I ordered glitter vinyl, and Shanna, or jelly vinyl, I mean. Shanna, if you're watching this, I need some jelly vinyl. Okay, so what I did get from her for sure was waterproof canvas. I needed to up on that. It took me a long time to move into this space, you guys, but I am pretty much team interface everything with waterproof canvas at this point. I just don't feel like interfacing stuff, and I hate prep work, but I really like a structured bag. I don't like floppy bags ever, unless they're really meant to be floppy. I just can't stand it. It looks so sloppy to me. I just don't like it. So if my bag won't stand up on its own, and that's the type of bag I'm attracted to, is like a structured bag when I'm shopping. Yeah, I'm just not into it. Unless it's like a boho bag, that's different. So anyway, I got all these colors of waterproof canvas. So we've got blue. I probably won't unroll all of them because I ordered a complete set, by the way. Shanna, if you're not in Glitterbug Fairy's group, you got to get in there. I'm just telling you, fastest, speediest shipping in the world. You'll order from her and she's faster than me. I usually ship same day, usually 4 or 5 hours within you placing the order. She'll ship 2 hours within you placing the order, and you will get it in 2 days. I promise you, she's crazy. But look at this. It's probably gonna hit my microphone, so I'm sorry. This is all the colors I got. She sells in her group. She'll just post hey, who wants a complete set of whatever rolls, $120 including shipping. And you just put your email there and she'll invoice you immediately. You pay it, it ships. So I got all of these colors in one box. And I'm so excited because look at the colors. This is one set of waterproof canvas, and they're all Otter Tech style waterproof canvas with the rubber backing. Do you see all these colors? They're so pretty. And I already used one of them on my pack over there, my math pack. So we've got yellow. This is rolled inside out, by the way, so the color is a little different, but it's pretty close. I can't do this one-handed now, but I picked it all up. Oh my God. So yellow, like a really pretty creamy banana yellow. I've got multiple colors of green. What I love about doing this, by the way, these are 18-inch rolls, so big enough for any bags. They're easy to store. She already pre-cut them down. Like, I don't have to deal with any of it, and it's a good price. It's a good product. So we have this pretty like kiwi, what would you call that? Grass green, kiwi green. It's not really Christmas green. I mean, not in my opinion, it's like a lighter green. So then we have, this is kind of neon, you guys. It's like a neon corally orange. Let me hold it up next to this one from Wonderground and you'll see what I mean about neon. So one is coral, one is like neon orange. It's pretty, I like it. And then we have, this is the one I was saying I think will go really good with my tissue paper. My Backstitch tissue, the blue, like a corn silk blue, a little dusty, but not too dusty. We have a nice tan, which this would be beautiful as a skin tone on like some darker characters, maybe like a Jasmine, Aladdin, maybe, well, I don't know, it's probably too light for the new Little Mermaid, but for her skin tone, maybe, like you could use it for that, or just, you know, lining to accent. It's a very like pretty kind of cocoa khaki. I really like that. Then we have, this is, you guys know I really like coral, but I also really love my minty colors, my like aqua minty. And this is not super aqua like my press. Do you see the comparison? This is dustier, but it's like a minty. So I love that. We have super light pink. We've got a darker pink comparison. Oh, don't fall, don't fall. Of those two, right? So darker pink, like a magenta-y. This one is a Christmas green, in my opinion, like a dark spruce green. And it's got, you know, good depth of color on it. I have white. This is like crayon red, kindergarten red, basic red. Guys like my really terrible color descriptions. Here's like a, ooh, oh my God. So this is what I used on my map packs. I cut it my Concord grape, Welch's grape, maybe grape juice, crayon, purple. And here's like a lavender. So comparison of these two. And I'll pull this one back because it's like a dusty, really light purple. We have yet another blue. That one is a little frayed, but it's just on the edge. I got the salvage part on there. So this is what I mean though, by the way, about people are like, waterproof canvas doesn't fray. This is just like Otter Tex, I promise you. It's got the rubber backing, but it does fray. If you move it around a lot, it'll fray. Don't leave it raw. It's fine, just don't leave it raw. You do have to move it a lot, but people don't believe me when I say that. They're like, it doesn't fray, it doesn't fray. It frays. Here's a darker, like a royal blue. Yeah, royal blue. I call that royal blue. And then we have cream, off-white cream, beige. It's really, really light next to the white. Champagne, maybe I might call that. I like this one. Ooh, this is like Beetlejuice green, right? Beetlejuice, I'm on it. But I watched Monsters, Inc. the other day too. I put that on in the background when I was working. So you could definitely do Mike Wazowski green. What is this? I would call this maybe like, it's not quite periwinkle because it doesn't have enough blue. But I'll show it to you next to the lavender and you can see the difference, right? So it's lavender with more blue. So I love her sets because now I have so many waterproof canvases. I'm set for like a long time. I'll be able to make every wallet, bag, whatever with everything in my stash. with these waterproof canvases, and I've got whole yards of them at 18 inches. I can cut any bag out of this. So it's great. And she just ships it to me immediately, and I have it here, and it's like, she's my supplier of all that kind of stuff. I love Glitterbug Fairy. If you ever have an issue, just tell her, like, nicely. She will fix it. She will take care of it. Like, she is a great person with great customer service. So, yeah, she will always be a go-to for me. So we have black, obviously. And then the last one is one more blue. This is more of like an aqua. I was thinking this was going to be the corn silk, but here's the difference. This one is the corn silk, see? And this is maybe more like Andy's room blue, like sky blue. So there's the difference there. So that is my Glitterbug Fairy haul. But seriously, I really did think that I had jelly vinyl. So I'm going to have to go back and look and see if I have an order coming from her for Mavpack panels, but I haven't finished officially placing my order. So I need to see if I can have her add jelly vinyl to that, because I was really stoked to try it. I know there's mixed reviews. People are like, I either love it or I don't. So I want to see which camp I'm in, and I'm just going to buy a set of it. And then I guess if I don't like it, I'll be stuck with it forever. Okay. I've got all this. Let me move these out of the way. I have a couple more mail haul things to show, and then we'll talk about templates. And then I think I'm going to cut and sew some bags, which I might do on a live just for fun if y'all want to sew with me. But I don't really know what I'm doing yet. I'm going to try to bustle my way. My goal today is to make a bigger Mavpack and do the split gusset instead of this. I like the look of this. I don't know about the longevity of it. So I'm going to try to do the split hack, but I need to like figure out all the math and stuff for that. So it might be a weird live video. I don't know if I really want to do that live. It's a little fumbly and I might mess it up, I feel like. So the next mail haul thing. I did already open this, so it's not really blind. Excuse the crinkling because there's tissue paper. But, okay, so I don't like to, I mean, obviously I never really aim to disparage anybody else, especially other businesses, but I do like to be honest about things. So this next one is going to be a bit of a mixed review. I really like the companies who are putting it on. I really think they obviously have the best of intentions, but I just was not stoked about this. It's my first one, so I'm going to stay in the subscription. I will tell you, for sewing, I've never done a subscription before, but I've done subscription boxes in the past from other hobbies and from other like clothing subscriptions. I will tell you this, me personally, I know this about myself. I have always been disappointed in them because I feel like they're always very expensive, and I don't feel as, from the consumer side, I'm getting the worth out of it. Y'all know I have talked recently about doing a project box myself. It's obviously, yeah, part of it is to make money, but most of it is to have fun, in my opinion. I have a lot of hardware, I have a lot of, vendors and friends in this space. I also have a lot of art and creative ideas that I want to get out there, and I think it'd be really fun to see them on other people's projects. So that's kind of my thing with it. I don't expect it's going to be a very big thing, and it's not going to be a subscription. It's going to be like, I'm going to put together a curated design of a box, and if you want to buy it, you can just go on the website and buy it, and they'll be limited. And I kind of hate that because I don't want to make people fight over it, but I want to be very clear about what's in the box so people are not disappointed. Because me personally, when I sign up for these subscriptions, they're always like $70, $80, $100, $150. And I just always feel like I end up looking at it and going, in my opinion, this does not feel like $150 worth of stuff. So that's an arbitrary number, by the way. That's not having to do with this box. So I really like what they did. I like the general idea. The thing that I'm not impressed with it is the hardware. And the problem is, I obviously deal in hardware. Same thing that I tell you guys all the time. If I wouldn't use it, I wouldn't sell it, because I feel like we spend way too much money and time and ourselves in these projects for me to put chintzy hardware on my stuff and then have it break or have it like not look good. If you know, and I feel this very much, chintzy hardware can pull down the look of a make very quickly. And we're not talking about having it be crazy custom. We're talking about a regular like lobster claw or a tri-glide. If it's not high shine and nice finish and like hefty looking and good looking and polished, it just makes the whole thing look like crap. It's like, oh, that hardware looks really cheap. So that being said, I'm open-minded about this. I'm excited about the idea of it and the learning of it. And I've been trying to get my Sojo back. So my thought was, if I subscribe to this box, I can use it as a jumping off point, learn some new patterns, because you're kind of forced to, right? Like, you don't get to pick, this is like a kit that comes to you. So, and then I'm kind of giving myself a timeline. And if I'm not sewing the boxes, I'm going to unsubscribe, because I don't need more material. What I need is like a little bit of accountability, kind of like sew something, because this box came and it's all here for you. So things that I was expecting, purely just because I was expecting them, not because anyone set the expectation. If I get a project box, I want the whole thing to be ready to go. I don't want to just get a box of materials and have to cut all my own stuff, because I already do that. I have a whole room of that and I don't need to pay for it. So I didn't love that. I would love to see a box where everything comes ready for me to sit down and sew. This was not that. It's a curated box with materials, but it is not ready to sew. I have to do the work, and I don't like doing prep work. I do enough of it. So anyway, those are my negatives. I have a lot of positives too. I just didn't love the hardware, and I don't love that the pieces aren't ready to go, but I think it's really cute. I think they did a really nice job, and I'm going to stay subscribed to it, and I'm going to show you now. So this is the Bag Making Bees Club box. So if you have not gotten yours yet, I think you should, because this is the box for July. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but the video came out and the box has long been out. This is my first one again. So I thought the box was really cute. Let me fold it up. It's got this super cute little sticker on it, which spoke to me, and it says, package contents may bring back Sojo and spark creativity, which I love. So cute. And it's got the little bee on it. Now, for anybody who doesn't know about this box, it is put on by Okla Roots and Wonderground Fabrics. I think it's actually technically put on by Wonderground Fabrics featuring Okla Roots, but I don't actually know. So the box has these cute little stickers on it, or not stickers, excuse me, stamps. It's stamped everywhere with their cute little logo. Inside, you open it to reveal this cute tissue paper, which you could totally recycle, and it has cute little stuff on it. So I think that's really neat. And the first thing you see is this printed media, which I think is really well done from a marketing standpoint. The side that's facing me says, "Thank you." It has a code on it to save. I'm not going to show you guys this because it's got coupon codes and stuff on it. But it's got coupon codes for Wonderground Fabrics, so I could go and shop more and get 15% off. There is a bee fact on it and a sewing buzzword thing on it. And then there's a QR code to take you to the tutorial video, which for this particular project was done by Okla Roots. I don't know if they're all done by Okla Roots. And then on this side, I think if I just kind of cover these with my hand, that has a breakdown of what's in the box. So there's a really pretty professional picture, really cute little picture of every individual you can kind of see there. And it says it includes a nickel swivel clasp, D-rings, a magnet, nickel rivets. This is an exclusive for the box, but it's the only thing that's exclusive for the box, which kind of makes me kind of like, okay, but then if I'm getting a box and I'm paying for it, I want more exclusives personally. The only exclusive in the box is the waterproof canvas in here, which is cute, but I only got enough for the one project too. So it's like, well, I don't know. Again, I have weird expectations. I don't know if they're too high or what, but this is my thing about why I don't subscribe to boxes. Not in this one in particular, just in the past. So anyway, I just would want a little more exclusivity, but you get some smooth vinyl, some zipper tape, some zipper pulls, some Peltex interfacing for this project, and everything in this box, by the way, is pretty much just enough for the project. You don't get any like extras. There's a heartwood and hide tag in here, which is cute, and some ribbon because this is a wallet project. So I think the ribbon is for the card slots. So you have this, which is very pretty and professional. So I do love that. Here is the piece of Peltex, and it's all nicely labeled. And then we have like, this is the exclusive, the water resistant canvas or the waterproof canvas, which I told you guys at Phrase, see, there's phrase all over in there. It'll be fine when it's in a seam, but a phrase, I'm telling you, don't leave it raw. So this is really cute, but it's just enough to get my little wallet out of it. And then this is the little roll of the vinyl, the mint vinyl for the project, because these are the colors, this like coral and mint. So then we have some coral vinyl, and we've got the zipper tape and some pulls. Now this is one thing I thought was a little interesting, I guess. I don't know if I'd really say odd. Actually, it looks like they are the same. I saw something in here that I thought was weird, but I think I was imagining that. This is me personally, but I really would have liked to have seen some custom zipper pulls, maybe themed to this or something. These are fine. They're very fine, but they're just plain zipper pulls. And they are like a brushed nickel. So I'm sure it has mass appeal. I'm not saying I want like characters, but it would have been nice to just see something a little bit more specialized, I guess. So then we have a magnetic snap, and this is where I get a little weird about the hardware. This is a rivet, and it is not a high polished, like nice quality looking rivet. It's very, have you ever seen silver hardware versus like nickel hardware versus like chrome hardware, where there's like high polish, nice shine, really pretty, you know, like this kind of silver, where it's like a nice piece of hardware, and then you see like that Amazon, I'm not saying this is Amazon hardware, I don't know where it came from, but you see like the Amazon style hardware where you've probably ordered that and it's just not nice. Like it's very dull, and the metal, like it feels very lightweight, and it just doesn't feel nice. So that's a bit of my issue with this hardware. This is the hardware that was provided. It's really thin. It's really lightweight. There are 3 pieces of hardware in here, and it weighs like nothing. And the same with the rivet, and the snap is heavy, but I just don't love that. So I'm probably just not going to use the provided hardware. Obviously, I deal in hardware, and I buy hardware from everywhere. I don't want to disparage, but I just want to be honest. I just wasn't impressed by that. They gave you some little candies, which I thought were really cool, little coffee candy. And then here's the ribbon. Everything is really nicely labeled, so I like that. Yeah, that's just ribbon. And then the last thing we have in here is the Heartwood and Hide tag, which has, this is obviously exclusive too because it matches the waterproof canvas. It says beach vibes, and right there, that's a little bee that matches the waterproof canvas. So like there are some exclusives here. I don't know if she's selling these or what. That is not marked as an exclusive. It does say custom cork tag, but it's not marked exclusive. So overall, oh, and there is a little sticker that also says beach vibes. So I get it. It's a mystery. It's a learning experience. It's a kit. I fully understand that. I do plan to stay subscribed to the box. It's not like I hate it. I have lots of positives. I have just, like I said, a couple negatives. I think it's a nicely done box. You know, I think the price is fine. I don't think like it's so absorbently expensive, but I would have really liked to see some custom and nicer hardware in here, because I do just have to say this, like I won't make this project and put that hardware on it. It does not feel high quality. It doesn't look high quality to me in any way. And I just don't want to spend that time on something. And then the other thing I would have liked to have seen is, since I'm not getting like full rolls of vinyl, big amounts, it's obvious that they're only sending you enough to do the project, which is fine. But then I would have liked to have seen the project pieces pre-cut, instead of just sending me, you know, little rolls. So, and on this card, by the way, I didn't mention this. So this project is the Triskel wallet from Sonar, and they give you a code here to go and get your pattern. So they also are not kind of like printing and providing the pattern, which is fine. Lots of people will want it digital, you know, it's fine. But again, it's like you're subscribing to a box. I want to get my sojo back. I have no motivation to prep anything, but I do want to sew. So I'll do it. But, you know, I just didn't love that. So overall, like, I give it an 8 out of 10. I think there's a little bit of improvement. I'm happy with it. I think it's interesting. You know, you do get to try new materials. That's a good thing. You know, we'll see. So for now, I plan to stay subscribed. We'll see what the projects are like in the future and kind of how they go. I'll be really interested to see if I like the materials, because this is something that happened to me at the Wizardry retreat. Some of the materials I loved. I discovered new things that I was like, oh, I love this interfacing. Where can I get it? You know, what is it? And it's all from Wizardry. And then there were things that I was like, well, I don't like this interfacing, but I like the other one, or I really don't like this vinyl, but I love that waterproof canvas. And I love this webbing. I love this hardware. So, you know, expand your horizons. For me, I tend to not venture out of my comfort zone unless I'm forced out of it. So I forced myself out of my comfort zone getting this subscription box. It's going to come to my door. I probably wouldn't have ordered these things individually, right? And that's what I like about a box. I also am the type of person that some of you struggle with this and some of you don't. I think there's two types of people. You either are very good at putting together colors and textures and making like a project, or you have the sewing skill, but you're not good at putting together textures and colors. I understand some people struggle with that, which is why I really want to do the project box with very special things, because there are some bags I've sewn that are really highly designed, like they look like an object, or they're just really, really detailed, and people go, man, I wish I could make a bag like that. I don't know how you put all those colors together and you made it work. It's so striking and interesting. And it's like, I did it because I took the risk, but also my brain thinks of weird stuff, and I'm happy to share that always. If you want to copy the bag and make the exact same, like, you go for it. I don't own pink and white stripes. Like, you do that, and I'll tell you right where I got my materials. You know, so there's two kind of sides to all of this, that it's like, you're either really good at that or you're not. This box to me feels like, if you are not good at putting together colors, then this would be good for you, because they send you all the stuff. I'm good at putting together colors. That's not a challenge for me. So really what this bag is doing, or this bag box is doing for me, like I said, is pushing me out of my comfort zone, trying new materials. I'll probably learn some stuff doing the pattern in the tutorial too. You're always learning, but, you know, it's maybe not doing exactly what I kind of like wanted it to. So I really do not want that to come off as disparaging. The two companies who put this on are people that I follow and like and have been customers of forever, and will continue to be. But I didn't love the hardware, thought that could have been better for the cost, and I'd like to see a little bit more of this prep work done maybe. So that's all. I'm excited to try it. I'll get to this at some point, but I don't honestly have the time right now. So I know the box is going to sit a little bit, because I've been working on MavPack stuff. So let's jump into that, because that's what's next on this table here. My table is slowly clearing off, which is making me happy. So I have here 3 templates. Like I said, my goal for today is to make the 115. I am working through all of my templates because I want to make sure before I put them on sale, they work the way I want them to, right? So that's the same way with my zipper templates. I used my zipper templates and redesigned them. I think I went through probably 5 iterations before I had the one that's for sale now. If you use my zipper templates and you enjoy them, I'm really happy that you do. I like to take all the guesswork out and put as much on one template as I can without making it overwhelming. That being said, MavPack templates. This is going to be a little hard to see on camera, so I'll probably grab, here I have some black waterproof canvas. In person, I promise you these are not hard to see or read, but there's glare from the lights and then like reflections, so you're going to be dealing with that here on the camera. So hopefully this helps. And then I'm going to drop it. Oh, okay. Let me like fold this so I can, so it's not unruly. And hopefully, okay. Hopefully this kind of works. It's sort of dangling a little ugly, but I hope you get the idea. So in my group, and if you subscribe to my newsletter at all, this may be news to you guys. I am now an authorized retailer of Lynn's handmade patterns and templates. So I will be working diligently over the next, month or two to create templates for her stuff and get them on the website. You will have to verify every time that you buy a pattern that you own the pattern. You need to just upload a picture, a screenshot is fine, of your receipt, like your account on Lynn's Handmade or whatever, where it says that you own the pattern, and then your order number, so that I can verify and cross-reference that you indeed own the pattern. If you don't do that, A, you won't even be able to check out on my website, but B, it's important to make sure that nobody is buying templates without the pattern, because she makes videos for free for all of her stuff, and I sometimes do videos. Oakla Roots does videos. Lots of places do free videos. Lindsay is very generous in letting us do that, but we need to make sure that in doing those videos and me selling the templates, she's not getting passed over for the pattern. Does that make sense? So we're making sure, and we are verifying, and I verify every order, that you purchase the pattern, so she gets her due, and it's not just me selling the templates and then you going to a free video and she never gets paid. You know what I mean? Because that's not cool. So I am an officially authorized retailer, have worked that whole deal out with her, and I'm really excited to be working with her because I love her patterns, and I already carry patterns for one other designer, Zelinsky's Patterns of Holding, which is Megleen Grant. Fabulous bags. I'll be honest, I've been carrying her templates for about a year, and with my life kind of personally and business-wise turning into an absolute landslide, we were going to add more templates of hers. We got through one bag and we never revisited it. I talk to Meg all the time. I haven't been around. I haven't been home. I've been going through all this oral surgery stuff. So just everything totally slid off the cracker, you guys. And I'm just now starting to put the pieces all back together. So that being said, like I said, I've got this collaboration going on in the background. I'm doing all kinds of new things. I've got new product that's come in. I have more new product coming, more tutorials at some point now that I'm back here and able to film. Things just got crazy. So I'm really hoping for more peace, more straight path, and getting back on the train of getting stuff out to you guys that you love and are excited about. So anyway, Mav Pack templates. This is the original size. I used this piece to cut all of the pieces for this little Mavy Mav right here. So obviously I know that it works. I know it's the right size. All the mathed and held up. So there will be two options for every template's going to be a little bit different, or let me rephrase that. Every pattern is going to be a little different. If it's a pattern, let's talk about the Mav. So the Mav has what I call just the curved pieces. These are curved pieces that you can't just get a measurement for, cut a rectangle that's 5 by 10 or a square that's 4 by 4, right? This is a weird piece that you need the pattern piece for. Hopefully I can kind of get the reflections to stop. But all of this is, legible. It's very legible in person. You don't get the reflections. See how messy my table is, and my very greasy handprints. But all of the instructions for the pattern piece, it tells you how many to cut. It tells these are to scale, and I know that they're to scale and perfect, and I'm testing them. I test all of them before I do it and put them up for sale, so I'm working through that. But all of your directions are clear cut on here, and I even added additional things. So additional things I added that are not on her pattern pieces. One, your pieces are clear, which means if you want to fussy cut a character or whatever, you can do that. I gave you the perfect center of this panel, and this is one of the iterations. I actually changed it. I'll show you the other two here in a minute. This is the original, and I need to make those alterations. Once I cut a pack with this and I sewed it, I thought, I can do this better, and I did it better. So those things on these will go on this one. But for the purposes of the show and tell, it's fine. So one thing I did is I gave you this little, I don't know if this is better or worse. I gave you this little crosshairs in the middle, lines all the way for centering, so you can perfectly center your characters. But also the circle is the dead center. I made that circle bigger so you could like really get a bullseye on the face or like the middle of the character or whatever it is, the emblem you want to fussy cut. So that should make it very easy for you to center vertically and horizontally. She has other, pattern instructions. So just like when you buy the paper pattern and she has like the gusset markings or whatever, all of that is on here. I have not made any changes to those particular pieces on the patterns. Obviously her logo is on it. On the other iterations, my logo is on it, so you remember where you got it. So if you like your templates, you can go get more templates. And then I also put some additional markings. So let me show the other ones. Okay, so when I laser acrylic, and this is a question I have for you guys, you tell me if you have an opinion you plan to buy patterns. There's two things that go into this. The more stuff we put on the acrylic, the longer it takes to make each pattern piece, right? So for just the curves, and this is why I asked in my group if you're in there, do you want the stabilizer pieces? I didn't use a hint of stabilizer on this bag, and I almost never do. And when I do use stabilizer, I don't like cut separate stabilizer pieces. I will cut the whole pattern piece on the front, and then I just keep the stabilizer in my seams. I don't bother cutting it like skinnier, but I know some people like to do that. So I came up with a solution for you, but the general consensus was the same as me. Most people said and voted no stabilizer piece. I don't use them. I don't need it. If I do the stabilizer piece, you have to pay for it. And I don't want you to pay for it if like you don't want it. So I'm not, we're not going to do that. So I have a solution and I'll show you that here in a sec. But any additional markings that are on this, every piece of text on here adds time. So the other thing is clear acrylic, any acrylic, when you put it through a laser, it cannot go through like this or else it gets burned. It has to have what they call masking. So this is a masked template. I've done nothing to it. They look like this. They come with paper on it. Okay. So this is just, whatever markings. This is backwards. Well, actually for you guys, it should be forward, but to me, it's backwards. So what we do is we laser the template, down. We laser it backward. So when you lay this down front ways on top of your fabric the right way, all of the measurements are up against your fabric, coming up through the acrylic. We don't do it the other way because your measurements would be off and then it would be hard to read. It's much easier to read this kind of, hold on, I have to sneeze. I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. Anyway, okay. So it's much easier to read. This is my hand, so it doesn't work really well, but it comes through the acrylic. So this is smooth here and it's a little bit like rougher back here because it's done through the back. I hope that makes sense. So when we put it down here, it's lasered backward and then we peel the masking off and flip it over and you look here. If you have one of my zipper templates or any of my tools, it's the same way. So let me peel, if I do that, one side of this. And my question to you guys is, if I have to peel all the templates, it's going to add cost and time because I have to peel every single one of these, hundreds of these I'm making. If I ship them, I can't ship them naked because they get scratched. They will in transit. It's clear acrylic. They're going to get little things on them. So I'd rather ship them masked. If I peel the paper masking, which is not hard, it's just paper, it's going to add a lot of cost because I have to peel every single one of y'all's templates versus if I send you the templates and you spend 3 minutes peeling it, you're done and it's not a big deal and it's really not a pain. I'll show you. I just take another piece of acrylic or my fingernail and you literally just rough it up a tiny bit. You just make a little start and it's just paper. Like it peels right off. It's not sticky. It doesn't leave a residue. There's nothing, like, it's so easy. But if I have to peel 100 of them, it takes a lot of time versus you guys peeling one. It's like no big deal. So would you like me to just send them with the paper and charge you less money? That's my question. Once you get it going, it peels off in one easy sheet. all done. The side with the text is a little bit more of a pain, but it's not too bad. It peels off in the same way. And then you might have the odd, like where it says pack or where it says whatever in it. So I wanted to leave this, by the way. See how you can read everything? It's now backwards for you because in the camera. But do you see? It's really easy to read, and that's on a light background. So there's, you know, my logo somewhere and all the directions. So you can leave it like this if you don't want a clear template. Okay. If you want it, you know, clear to fussy cut, you can take both sides off. You can take one side off just so you can read it and leave it like this if it's easier to read. You get options. If I peel it, it's going to come clear, but to ship it, I have to put either tissue paper between to keep them from getting scratched or remask them with clear masking, which guess what? Adds to the cost. You have to pay for it. I don't want you to pay for it. So my thought is there are two things. One, when it's lasered, the paper can look a little dirty. Do you guys see on the back here, the little black marks? It's not dirt, it's the laser, it's paper, so it like burns just a little bit. And so I don't want anybody getting turned off and going, oh, my templates came dirty. It's not dirt. It's char from the laser. That's why you mask it, because otherwise that would happen to your acrylic. So I want to keep my prices good. I want to keep them compatible across the board for, you know, other shops, but also be as, you know, kind of cheap as possible, offering the best quality. Ways to cut the cost are going to be not doing extraneous pieces that nobody wants, not having to peel off masking and remask, and then, you know, just in general, being conscious in all ways. So I want to offer you good quality, but I don't want to send you something that people are going to go, oh, it's terrible or it's bad quality. Like, it's not. It's just, this is why you're getting it for $19 instead of $30, right? So for the MAV packs, there's going to be many iterations and many, I don't know how to explain this very well. There's all these hacks that you guys want, and I want to give you templates for it, but there's going to be like a billion iterations of the MAV pack. So here's what I plan to do. And I'm going to speak through this slowly so I don't like screw up here. Let me grab some template pieces. Okay. So if you want MAV pack templates, there will be 3 sizes available. I was going to do 4, but I took a poll in my group, and hardly anybody voted for the other options. And I'm thinking, well, okay, look, I want to help everybody that I can help, but I cannot offer 3,000 iterations of the same pattern because I plan to offer templates for literally every single Lynn's Handmade pattern, every single Zielinski's pattern. I also have a few other people I'm collaborating with and still in the works, but I plan to offer all of their patterns. It's going to be a lot. So I want to have as many iterations, but at this point is majority rule. So we're going to do the original size MAV. We're going to do the 115% MAV, and we are going to do the 120% MAV. Each of those MAVs is going to have different options within it. So you will have the size you choose, and then you're going to choose a sub style. And it'll all be in drop-down menus. It'll all be written very clearly, and the pricing will be according to each thing that you pick. Obviously, the more pieces that you pick, the more expensive it's going to be. So when I made this MAV, okay, this is the original size, barely any changes, no changes to the pattern piece. If I were to order the original size, there's going to be 2 options for how many pieces. One is what we call just the curves. Some of these are not curved, but you'll get the idea. Just the curves option means it's the weird pieces. So no rectangles and no squares. If the piece is not a perfect rectangle and not a perfect square, it will come in the just the curves option, right? So for the MAV, that means your main body template, which in her pattern, you use this main body template to cut 2 outsides and 2 liner insides. Okay, that's the majority of the bag right there. And then in the just the curves option, you will receive this little template. Let me get my fabric here, sorry. I have a masked one, hold on. These are the same pieces, just masked versus unmasked. So it is the piece, this is what it looks like. And again, it's all lasered out for this little connector doodad piece right here on the strap. That's this piece. You'll receive that. And then the last piece you receive in the Just the Curves option is the little trapezoid thing here. This guy. And it looks like this. If you get a Just the Curves option, that's all you're getting, those 3 pieces. Now, some of you, very few, but some of you were like, but I want the stabilizer. Well, that's going to mean you have to basically have a whole 4th other piece like this. And I don't want to charge you for that. That's going to add like $10. So someone in the group had a very good idea, which I figured out the iteration of it. This is the 115 size pattern piece. If you can see the size difference, I know that's hard because it's clear. This is the original and the 115. The original literally fits the stabilizer line of the 115. So do you see all these little marks around the edge? There is a direction I added on here to tell you what this is. So what this is, and every single person will receive this because all the pattern pieces are going to come like this. So even if you don't want the stabilizer option, you still get this. What it is a diagram on the outside, or a guideline, excuse me, on the outside. These are cut, okay? An average, let me show you. I tried to size it as best I could. So here is a fine point Sharpie. A fine point Sharpie fits in here, okay? An average, here's just like a pen, any old clickety pen. It also fits, okay? Do you see it poking through? So I can use that to trace. I also tried a big pen, a Staples pen. I tried like 5 pens to make sure this was sized appropriately so you can trace. So if this is clear, you're going to slap it down on your fabric. You're going to cut the outside for your main outside panel, the cute panel, and the lining. If you want the stabilizer, you can put this backwards, like flip your fabric over. Wish I had a piece of fabric. I have a scrappy here. You can put this like this on the back side of your cute fabric. Cut out your whole main body piece, take the scraps away, and then you can take your pen and you can trace out this line all the way around on the back side of the piece you just did. That acts as a stabilizer placement guide. Okay, so if you don't care about cutting it, but you want a placement guide, or you want the seam allowance lines, you get that using this guide. Then you take the same piece and you put it on top of your, you know, whatever, stabilizer, okay? And then you drop your template. They're good quality, they're durable, I promise. So you put it on your stabilizer, right? And then you trace the inside line, not the outside, the inside line. When you take it off, you should have plenty of lines to be able to rotary cut or cut with scissors or whatever you want to do for your stabilizer. So this same template piece, and I'm aiming to do this on all of them, you will have the option for the stabilizers that you need, the guideline that you need for stabilizer at no extra cost. And so hopefully that helps satiate everybody who's either team stabilizer or team no stabilizer pieces. I wanted to do something that would work for everyone. So not only does this act as a placement guide because it's perfectly put where it goes on the bag pattern piece, but you also get the right size. So this is according to her pattern. I literally took her pattern piece, laid it over the other pattern piece, centered it, did all the things, and then created this outline, did the whole thing. So that is the deal with that. Here's the 115 size. This is the 120, which I know everyone was asking for, and you can kind of see the, maybe if I put it this way, they're kind of the same color. Okay, if I put this one on the back side, then you can see this one. Maybe that'll work. So the sizing difference is not all that much. It's only 5%, but that's the difference in the 15 and the 20. And then the last one is this 110 here in the middle. See? So size difference. This one, like I said, is the experiment. It'll have all the same lines and markings as these. I wanted a proof of concept. So when you upsize these bags, these pieces don't change because they're always sized for 1-inch hardware. So the only pieces that change are these. And then the gussets that you need, the math has to add up to get around the circumference. So you've got to do the math on that. I am working on doing the math to make sure the proof of concept works correctly. And when you cut all the pieces, it works. If you are team, I want all the pieces. So you want all the curves and you want the rectangles. That is going to be like the complete pattern. The I want it all option. I'm going to tell you right now, the cost is going to increase because you're getting more pieces, more time, more materials, more everything. But if you're wanting to pay for that, it will be there. So when you order the 115 or the 120, do you know what? There's an error on this piece. I just realized, this is why we do these tests. This one tells you right on it, this is the 115 size right there. This one, we accidentally saved it on the wrong one. It says original size. This is the 20%. So I made a mistake there when I edited it. I'll need to change that, and I'm going to mark that right now before I forget. These are just my templates, so I'll fix that. This is why I'm not rushing the templates though, you guys, because I want to make sure that they work. So I could have had them on the site, you know, a week or two ago, but I don't want to. I want to make sure that they do all the things. But let's pretend for a minute this is the 20%, it just has a wrong engraving. If you order just the curves, you're getting these 3 pieces, okay? If you want all of them, you will receive all the rectangles you need to cut, as well as these pieces, and it will be for the gusset here in the right measurements, and it will be for the gusset here, how the original is, with the zipper up against the edge. There is one more hack that you guys asked for, and I'm going to try to make this hack with templates if you want it. Now, if you order just the curves, it's up to you to do that math. You're not getting any templates for any of the rectangles. If you want the split gusset, meaning the zipper goes in the middle on this gusset and you get a piece of fabric and a piece of fabric with the zipper in the middle, I am going to try to offer that as an option. Again, it's going to be more pieces, and I'm going to have to figure out the math on it and make sure everything works, but you asked for it, and I want to give it to you. So that means you have 3 original 15 and 20% options. Each of those options has just the curves, so that's one option in each size. They give me all the pieces for the original, which is another option, and then there will be an option for the split zipper panels. I don't know if that'll be an add-on or if that will be just a different iteration. And getting the listings figured out is a whole thing, because that means what? You've got 3 sizes times 3 options, so that's 9 iterations of patterns for just the Mav Pack. So that's why when I was asking you guys to vote, this is a ton of work, and I'm so excited to be doing it. It's very fulfilling. It is a challenge trying to work with these pieces and say, how can I make this better? Okay, I needed to make the crosshair bigger here. I needed to add these lines. I have to size them right for a pen, all that stuff. I'm happy to do it. But then when you're like, well, some people make them at 27.8%. Can we have templates for that? Like, I already have 9 iterations for one pattern. Technically, I think there's actually another set of iterations I'm forgetting about in there, so there might be 12. That's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't want to go nuts and have nothing when you go to the page. I don't want you to have like 15 billion Mav Packs to wade through, because I want to offer templates for all of her stuff. Including some hacks that I have come up with for her stuff. So if you like my H2O water bottle hack, then the one that I did in my video, I would like to offer a template for that. So that's a fun and exciting one. I have toyed around with offering the split pocket templates with the box bottom with the split front and the zipper. I'll tell you right now, I'm just personally not crazy about that hack because it doesn't fit things the way I want it to fit. So I did make one, I just didn't love it, and I moved back to the original one, which was simpler. And I haven't revisited it. So I would need to revisit that pattern, figure out how to make the templates work. I'll probably come up with my own measurements and iterations to make it work. We'll have to see. And if I do, then, you know, whatever. The other thing I do plan to do is just a very quick, not a full tutorial, but I do plan to put out a video in case you buy these and you go, I don't remember how she said this works. There is a direction on here. It points right to the line. It tells you what it's for. It has her pattern direction on here of how many to cut. We put all that on there for you, but some people really need a visual. I respect that. So I will have some little short videos on YouTube, edited, filmed ones where it's like camera work only, hand, like down, showing you, here's how you cut, here's what you cut, now put it here, that's how you use it. Thank you very much, goodbye. So that will come with all of this. I'm aiming to get them up on the site pretty quick, but again, I want to make sure I work through all the iterations and make them perfect before I send you something that's got errors. So I worked through the original yesterday. Today I want to work through the 115 and the 120. I just found an error I need to fix, and that's where we go from there. So if you have ideas, suggestions, comments, concerns about templates, and you have some great ideas and you want to tell me, like, shoot me a PM, shoot me a Facebook PM, or you can leave a comment on YouTube, send me an email, store, S-T-O-R-E, @emporiumthreads.com. That's my direct email for the store. And, we can chat, and I'm happy to like converse about these things. If you have something that you're like, I really need this and nobody else offers it. I am aiming to have these be pretty much retail turnaround time, like 24 to 48 hour turnaround time, not weeks and weeks and weeks. I already have a laser. I will put this little tidbit out here. I haven't really told anybody else, but it's on its way. So we'll see what happens with that. I ordered a big laser. Like, I don't actually know what room it's going to go in. I may actually have to deconstruct all of this behind me, and it may have to go in my sewing space instead of the inventory room, which is next door, where the other laser is. And, but we should be able to cut templates for you guys very quickly. So I am aiming to not have them. I mean, you'll have to order them and then I'll start, but I do plan to have a little bit in retail, back stock. So I'm hoping it can be just as fast as my normal shipping. When you guys buy something, I ship it like the same day. Even on Sunday, I often fulfill orders because I just don't like to sit on them. So I'm hoping, I mean, for sure it's not going to take 3 weeks to get your templates. I'm not about that life. So unless I get 3,000 orders, then, whatever. So I haven't told anybody that. Nobody knows except for Corey and I, and it is going to take some time to get that laser set up when it gets here. It's supposed to be delivered next week. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But anyway, that's my plan for today. The next tutorial I want to shoot is actually involving the Mav pack. I didn't kind of think it was necessary, but I'm getting a lot of questions about this bag. People want to know about this slider, which is not a hard situation. It just, I did this for the first time in the class I took at Wizardry. Lynn's told us to do this. We didn't even look at the pattern when we were in the class, so I had never seen the pattern because the pieces were pre-cut for us. So she would just tell us, like, take this piece and put it with this piece, like it was all pre-done. So I didn't even look at the pattern. I thought this was the original pattern, but apparently upon looking at the pattern, it's not. You pick left or right, or like put hardware on both and do it. I really liked this, so I just made mine this way. So a lot of people had questions about this. A ton of y'all had questions about piping and how to do piping. So I think I will do a tutorial making the Mav, probably at 115%, I think, because again, I love this bag, but it's a little small for me. So I think I'm going to be team 115%, maybe 120, but I'm for sure team binding. I'm not birthing another one of these. I use way too stiff of materials and I'm not doing it. So the tutorial will be the Mav pack, probably at a bigger size, discussing the math and all of that to do it. The slider bar on the back, binding, the whole thing. Yeah, I think that'll be the tutorial. It'll be like Mav pack, hacks basically. So I'm excited to do that one. I think as soon as I make a 115 for the first time, I'll probably sit down like this next week. I'm hoping to get that tutorial done. You guys know it takes my husband a while to edit. I have other videos right now he's editing and trying to get out, but he has a full-time job. So he's just nice to edit these videos for us and make them super pretty with nice lighting and nice sound and, all the music he puts in there. That's all him. I do none of it. I just shoot the video. So we wait on him because he gives us nice things. But yeah, it's going to take a little while to come out. I kind of try to push him like, hey, come on, do it. So I'm hoping that video will be up and ready for you guys. I would say August, mid-August, if I kind of push him. So anyway, that's my plan of stuff I'm working on. And then the only other thing, like I said, I've got these collabs and other things, kind of secret fun things in the background. But in case you missed it, because you're not on the newsletter, get on the newsletter. All of these things have been in the newsletter. So you would have found this out like 2 weeks ago. But you know, no worries. And I don't spam. I send out newsletters basically only when there's like big news, which for me is like 3 times a year. The newsletter will be published though, telling you, hey, the Mav pack panels or templates, excuse me, are on the website when they're live. So if you're waiting for that and you want to know when, yeah, I'll post it on Facebook. Yeah, I'll post it around, but you know, you're going to miss that. Getting an email to your inbox, you know, you just get it. So I would highly recommend going to my website. It's on there in 2 places on the homepage. Subscribe to our newsletter. Put your email in there. I don't sell it or anything, and I'm not going to spam you. Then you get what you want. So I'm going to quickly show you my tags that I'm super stoked about. They're currently for sale on the website, and I have new tags coming, which I can't show you yet because they're not here. But I used one of my little birds on my bag. So this one says, this one's mine, and it's the Pixar from Finding Nemo, the little pelican birds. I love them so much. They're so freaking cute. The other ones I drew and came up with, if you ever watched King of the Hill, Mike Judge show from the 90s, early 2000s, you may or may not remember the episode of Bobby Hill where he goes to the self-defense class, and it turns out it's a women's self-defense class. And so the teacher instructed him to kick the assailant in between the legs and then scream as loud as you can. He says, I don't know you, that's my purse. And he yells it, I don't know you, that's my purse. And it's a very funny, silly episode. So I have a Bobby Hill tag of Bobby screaming, I don't know you, that's my purse. And obviously all the tags are double-sided. So if you put it out of the seam, like on the side, just like this one, both sides of the tag have, you know, it's cute and you can see it. So I have that one. I have 2 iterations of this one. I'm not going to lie, this one was an oopsie. So when I sell out of these, I mean, if you guys really like them and you seem to, this was supposed to be white and they are pale pink. Like, honestly, they go really well with this coral. Kind of a happy accident. They're supposed to be white and red, but they're not. So this was an oopsie, but they're selling really well. So I guess if you guys want me to reorder these, I can do that. But I have 2 iterations of it. It says know your worth and then add tax. So this is the black and red, and then the pink and white, or pale pink and red, I guess is more what it is. So the next 2 I also really love, and you guys have been really loving them too. So they are, again, I'm so grateful and over the moon that people saw my art and didn't look at these tags and go, she's weird, because I was kind of terrified to put these out here. Because they are weird and goofy, but I'm weird and goofy. I like weird and goofy stuff. I love things like King of the Hill, The Simpsons. I love Rick and Morty. I love Lord of the Rings, and I love Harry Potter. I love Disney. I love weird aspects of Disney. Like, I love the Muppets. I just love like goofy, silly, stupid stuff. And I love things that look like other little things, like tiny things. Tiny things make me happy. I think because I'm so tall, one of my favorite toys as a kid was Polly Pockets. I loved Polly Pockets because they were just tiny, and all that tiny, tiny furniture. I love doll houses. Like, I just like weird stuff. I don't know. So, I'm here for it. But, this one I was especially stoked to see you guys loved because it just tickles me in a fun way. And, it says handcrafted for a silly goose. And this little goose, you guys, he's so flipping cute. His little face, he has a little kind of fat cheek. And when you look at the smile in person, and his little webbed feet, he looks like he's out for a little Sunday stroll. He's so cute. He makes me so happy. And that one's been popular. So those are all for sale on the website right now. The last one, for those of you who don't know, I have a Shiba Inu. His name is Hammond. He is getting to be kind of an old boy. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that his sister, not biological, just my other dog, Elise, passed away in March, I guess it was, like early March. And that was really, really tough. And frankly, I'm still dealing with it. I have really good days and I have really bad days. A couple days ago, I had a really bad day. I just cried all day. It's grief. It's weird. And I've never had grief like this before. So I'm still working through it. But, Hammond, my silly sweet boy, if you don't know anything about Shiba Inus, you're going to have to give him a Google. They're weird. They're weird. They're weird little dogs. Not that little. He's like 30 pounds. But they are really interesting personality. They are a Japanese hunting dog, and I love him. They are known for what they call the Shiba attitude, and they will like side-eye you. I mean, like real bad. Like, what do you, all the time. Like, he's so judgmental. And he has no face filter. They have these little white eyebrows, and they move them all the time and crinkle their little foreheads and kind of look at you, and they'll crinkle their nose like, ew, what? He is so judgmental. So I was talking to another Shiba owner. Hey there, Tiffany, if you happen to be watching. She's a sewist, and we both found out we had Shibas. Several of you at the shows have come up to me and said, I have a Shiba. And it's like, if you know what these dogs are like. They're really cool. They're really interesting. They're weird. I've had dogs all my life. I've never grown up or been around a Shiba before I had one. So anyway, the last tag that I made was in honor of my sweet baby boy, Hammond. And it says so judgmental. It's spelled SEW. And you can see his little side eye there. So if you Google Shiba Inu side eye, you will see pictures of Shiba Inus giving their owners the side eye. It is a very real thing. They all do it. It's actually incredibly funny, but also like you feel really called out. Like, dude, wipe the attitude off your face. They're like having a little teenager, and they're like this their whole life. He is going on 14 years old at this point, and he's still a puppy. Last night at 11 o'clock, he was running around in circles, and I was trying to get him to go to bed. He was barking at me and jumping on the couch and like getting all crazy and giving me the side eye. Like, you go to bed. I don't want to go to bed. So anyway, I made this tag obviously in honor of him, but just to the cross sections of Shiba Inu ownership and sewists and people who like Japanese culture and all those things, it goes hand in hand. If you've ever been to Japan, there's a type of dog that's on every commercial, every billboard. They're Shibas. Shiba Inus are Japanese, and they are very much a very ingrained part of their culture. So I love my little Shiba. And I've been on the fence, about possibly getting more dogs, and I'm like, oh, I want another Shiba, which is like torture. I'm even asking myself, you guys, why would you get another Shiba? Because I love my dog, but like he is a handful. But I kind of also, I really want to get a little brother or sister, too, at the same time, a little brother and a little sister. And I don't know, we'll see. Far off, because I know I'm still struggling through things, but if I do, you'll get to meet them. I already have names picked out. It's based off of another goofy TV show that I like. Yeah, it's a brother and sister off of that TV show, who are Japanese. So anyway, yeah, there are new tags on the way. I suppose I have a lot of them that are in the works that I've drawn, and I suppose I could show them to you. I thought about it, but I don't know. I'm always nervous to put my art out there. So I think what I'm going to do is read through the comments here, and then I'm going to start on my bag. And if I decide to do it live, I'll jump on another live stream and kind of end this one because it's about different stuff. And then maybe we can sew together live. I don't think I'll probably cut it on camera because who wants to watch that? But we'll see. So anyway, let me read through here. Okay, so I don't know who's on here still watching, but I'm reading back through the comments. Denny says, explain waterproof canvas to me. So waterproof canvas, lots of different brands offer it now. Kind of one of the original people who offered it was OtterTex, O-T-T-E-R, like an otter, like shedding water otter. So waterproof canvas, here is OtterTex in coral color. It's got two sides. You can see one side has a ton of texture here. See that texture? And then the other side next to it has this rubber backing, and see how it's really smooth, texture smooth. So the smooth side is the wrong side. This is the right side, the texture side. So it's got this rubbery backing on it. It's not sticky. It's like a coating. I would refer to it almost like a raincoat kind of coating or something, but it's water resistant. Not only from this side, but this side is also water resistant. If I had any water in here, I would show you. It literally just beads right off. Like if you soaked this in water, it will eventually absorb water. But if you just splash water on it, it literally beads right off like an umbrella. So the whole point of using this is not to make our bags waterproof. It's because this material is so thick, it acts like it's interfaced, and it comes in a ton of really cool colors, and now shops are starting to do prints. I bought some leopard print waterproof canvas from somebody, and you know, all kinds of colors. Glitterbug Fairy carries all the colors. Her waterproof canvas has the rubbery back. I personally like the rubbery backed ones the best. When you cut them, they don't fray as much. It takes a lot to fray them, like constant rubbing. We're talking about like pulling, pushing, tugging, rubbing, smushing, and it will eventually fray. But it doesn't fray continuously like a cotton or a yarn, right? It kind of stops quickly and it'll keep fraying, but the rubbery coating is directly on the fabric, like it's manufactured. I think what they do is weave the fabric and then either dip it or spray it with this. Like it goes through a conveyor belt or something and gets sprayed. This is attached to it. It is not, so when you turn it, there's no separation. That's thing one. No bubbling, no peeling. That's the difference between something that you interface at home and something that's made like this. So then you have other companies like Backstitch. I am not aware that I think Backstitch has a single, what they call water resistant canvas that has the rubbery backing. It's still water resistant, water beads right off of it, and it still is thick enough that you can just cut your pieces and sew them directly, not have to interface. It's got structure, but it's domestic friendly, it's thin, it can be printed, but it's thinner. Versus like this one right here is the Wonderground. I don't know if she calls this waterproof or water resistant. Some of the companies are starting to flip-flop the names, and truth be told, that's not really true. The OtterTex has the rubbery backing. It is waterproof. One thing to know, if you're actually looking to make like a tent out of it, you have to do the right kind of seams. You've got to do what they call flat fell seams, and then use a seam sealer on those seams to actually keep it waterproof. The minute you punctuate this, if you were in a tent out in the rain in it, it would shed water for like a minute, and then water's going to start leaking through your seam holes. So if you're really trying to make a waterproof item, there are techniques in sewing. You need the right material, but you also need to finish the waterproofing, right? If I'm making a handbag, it has nothing to do with waterproofing. I'm just trying to get away from interfacing, and I want a fun, pretty color, and I want the material to last. This is a very rugged feeling material. I will say that it's pretty, it's not luxurious. It's not like I have, you know, a nice couture handbag that I carry. The inside of it is lined with like a real suede leather. That's luxurious. It wears well because it's leather, it's real, it's thick. And when I slide my hand across it, it's very soft and supple. It's suede. This is not that. This is like, think JanSport backpack. A little nicer than that, but think of that kind of like rugged. It's nice, great for casual bags, perfect for H2O to go. Mav packs, backpacks, baby bags, even like a handbag, but it's not luxurious feeling. So understand that if you're trying to make a high quality like luxury item, this is more casual. It's rugged, but it's pretty and it works well. Good for wallets, long wearing. So that's kind of the point again of this. I think these other ones wear just as well, probably, but like this one does not have any rubber backing. Do you see that the front looks the same as her back? This is a water resistant canvas. It's stiff. It feels like cotton canvas that has been treated with something like a clear spray. Does that make sense? It doesn't have a rubbery backing. I think it would probably still fray. In fact, you can see it. It's been in the package for a little bit because she, you know, cut it, and it is fraying, and it will keep fraying. You know, it just will because it doesn't have the rubber backing. But again, I don't really care because I'm not going to leave it raw edge. I'm going to bind it. I'm going to put it in seams. It'll work fine. So that's your difference between like an OtterTex and a water resistant canvas. Let me show you the Backstitch, which is printed. This one is probably a good example too. let me show you these two. So this actually matches my shirt I'm wearing. A glow in the dark Backstitch water resistant canvas. Again, texture on the back, printing on the front, and no rubber backing. It looks different because of the print, but there's no rubber backing here. It feels like it has some kind of clear stiffener on it, right? So that's a water resistant canvas. And you can see, and it even kind of makes like the cookie sheet noise, right? I gotta double check my battery here real quick, you guys. I've been on for a while and I don't know. My phone did flash up a little while ago and said 20%. If I go, my phone died. So I'm gonna try to get through this and then hop off and charge. This is a printed waterproof canvas from someone else, and this is genuinely a waterproof. Here's why. It has a rubber back. Do you see the difference? There's like a sheen on it and it makes a noise and you can kind of see it's got a rubber back. So that's the difference. I prefer the rubber backed kind, but you know, you take what you can get, and I want the cute prints. So sometimes I buy the water resistant. It doesn't matter because you're not trying to make a waterproof bag. And it's the minute you sew it, unless you seal the seams and you do flat fell seams, both of those things, it will not remain waterproof. So it doesn't matter. It's a washable material. You can put it in the washer and dryer. Like, you can do all these things. So that's why we use it. Again, this bag has not a scrap of interfacing in it, but like, look how like rigid but supple it still is. I used all caught up there. Waterproof canvas, this purple right here, it's otter textile with the rubber backing. And then the other thing I used in here is the Backstitch silky windbreaker style canvas. So, and binding. And then the piping and the vinyl, all of those things combined gave me a perfect, lovely little item without any interfacing. And I love that because I still had to do the prep work. I'm not doing any of the prep work though. So that's the explanation of waterproof canvas versus water resistant canvas. I think it was Denny who asked, and I hope that explains it. Let me see. I need to go back here. Oops. Sorry. Okay. Maybe I went back too far. Denny, thank you. Again, you guys may know Denny from around. He's always one of my like biggest supporters, and I really appreciate that, Denny. I know I've told you that before, but the encouragement really helps for many of you guys. I always like to, everybody likes encouragement, but Denny, you are very kind and always encourage me. So he says, there's a market for everything and you're doing fine. Thank you very much. And while I agree with that, it is still kind of terrifying to put your art out there. Denny says good business practices because there's too much theft. I agree. There's a lot of theft going on, and we are aiming to not have any theft of any kind with our templates that we're offering for anybody. So you must verify with your order number and a visual that you have to upload at the time, or else you won't even be able to check out. And if I find that you uploaded like a picture of your face or somebody's calling me in the middle of this. Okay, anyway, so Annette says, I'll peel my own acrylic. And Life Slides Media said, send them with paper. I like peeling them. It's satisfying. You know, you think that till you peel hundreds of these. So I'm glad you feel that way because I think that's what I'm leaning toward. And they also said, I messaged O Creations to start a collab to do Louis templates, and I'm on a mission. They'll be popular. I agree. I actually really love the look of the Louis. I haven't gotten to sew one yet, but I love the look. So I would love to offer templates for them. Jaded said, it's my favorite episode. I'm sure you're talking about King of the Hill with Bobby. It's definitely a favorite episode of mine too. Sonia said, hey, hi Sonia, been a little bit. Jaded said, I'll watch you cut out a pattern. You guys crack me up. I often feel like we do lives for too long and I'm like, does anybody actually want to see any of this? But you like it. So like, I'm here. I'm happy to do it. It's fun. And then Kelly Mitchell said, would I consider making a Linsport mini backpack at 125%, just these ones with the front exterior, back, and liner? I can't attest to the pieces because I haven't looked at that pattern recently, but the Linsport will be coming and there probably will be some upsizes because I know that's one of them, like the Mav pack, that a lot of people wanted, like a 120 or 125. So the other thing quickly on that, you guys, to touch on, when we start getting to 120, 130%, realize that I know you want templates, but I don't want you to be shocked at the shipping cost. when we start getting over like 10, 12 inches, these are big rigid pieces. They have to ship in like a flat rate box. You're going to end up paying a whole bunch of money, you know, for shipping. So understand that like you're taking the cost on that. And it gets a little treacherous. So, you know, would I like to offer it? Sure. But if I offer it and I put in all the work to do the templates and then nobody buys them because it's $19 in shipping, you have to understand that from like my perspective. I'm trying to do the most that I can without going like overboard. So yes, maybe I don't know which pieces I'll be offering. There will be an option for just the curves and an option though for like just certain pieces. But again, there can't be 19 million iterations. So we have to like be choosy. So Kathy Carter just said, good morning from Reno. Hello, Kathy. We were just talking about next year there's going to be a retreat and an expo by you in Las Vegas. So the Socation Sin City. Go to their Facebook page and make sure you're paying attention if you want to go to that, because I'll be vending there. I'll probably be teaching, and lots of other bag makers and vendors too. So last comment, Denny says, thanks for the explanation. I know Shanna has been selling a lot of it. Yes, she has. And again, earlier in this broadcast, which will be, you can watch it back, I went through all of my Glitterbug Fairy waterproof canvas I bought a set of every color from her. And it's like 20 colors. And I'm really excited about it. So let me hop off here. Let me charge my phone. I suppose I will figure out how to cut this pattern, and maybe we can cut one together live. I think we will do the Mav pack at 115% with a split gusset and piping and binding. So it's going to be a long one. But anyway, that's my Saturday for you. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for joining in on this video, and hopefully you got something interesting out of it. And yeah, thanks for hanging. See ya. I can never figure out how to turn this off though. There we go. Bye.